Hello everyone, this is the story of what if Naruto is lost in Sakura's raging waves. Greek demi-goddess in Japan. Fiera, Aphrodite, Hera, what are you doing here? Be careful child, Pandora's coming. What? Hey, wait, we must go. I bolted out of bed, tired. Aphrodite and Hera came to visit me last night, what was that about? It was then I noticed the clock. Damn it, I screeched. I'm late. Hi, I guess I haven't introduced myself to you yet. My name is Sakura Herodite. I'm pretty much your average girl. Excuse me for a sec, I have to change my clothes. Change my normally pink hair to a reddish-brown color, change my eyes from the green to the brown and make myself a bit taller. There, I hate being too tall, anyways. What, you've never seen anyone change their appearance? Give me a break. Oh right, not everyone has magic. That's what I love about being a demi-goddess. You see, I'm a demi-goddess. I guess you've all heard of the story of Pandora's box. Yeah, well, you see, the box gone a little out of control, but the Greek gods never knew. The woes of the world did escape from there, but you know what? Contrary to popular belief, foreboding did escape, and the woes were a lot stronger than you think. The Greek goddess created us, the E4 for your protection, by that dude who gave mankind fire. Can't remember his name though, anyways. We were created and we each control an element. My element is fire. Warm and harsh, helpful and lethal, it describes me perfectly. You see, the me you're talking to is my inner personality. A bit hard to explain. But all you need to know is that I have two different personalities and the one you're talking to is hey. Not now. Please excuse the cat fight, the raining pitchforks and the rabid beavers at the moment. URG. I hate it when that happens. Hi again, you were just talking with my alter ego. Confusing. Nay, my name is, as you know, Sakura Herodite, and I'm the demi-goddess of fire in the E4. She's already told you about the E4, right? Okay, good. Just to tell you, I switch to my alter ego when I'm ticked off, unconscious, kicking demon butt or alarmed. Hey, why did I just wake up as her anyways? Baka, you're late. I am. Oh shoot, you're right. Let me grab my clothes and I'll be down in a minute. Baka, I swear, I should have control of the body and not you. I am the smart one after all. Reet, and who got the higher IQ on that IQ test we did? Me. Look at you, arguing with yourself. I'm leaving. Finally. Excuse me as I roll my eyes. My alter ego is the most unsufferable thing in the world. She's an accumulation of the knowledge the guardians before me have collected, but the funny thing is, it's only the fire guardian who gets her. Lucky me. I rushed downstairs rather quickly. Tenten-chan's gonna be pissed. Sorry about that, I exclaimed as I sat down at the table. Hinata-chan smiled at me gently. It's okay, Sakura-chan. Ino still isn't here yet. She's the what? Demi-goddess and it suits her perfectly. She's our resident healer and mastermind, also perfect with the bow and scythe. We all have preferred weapons, mine's the sword. I can use almost any type and still beat you single-handedly. Not to brag, of course. Hinata is also our peacekeeper. Don't get me wrong, the E4 are like sisters, but like sisters we have fights. Hinata's guardians are Athena and Amphitrite, but she's extremely shy, so it's quite shocking to see her step in. In her decoy form, she's got long black hair and black eyes and is quite, well, ugly. In her E4 mode though, she got purple hair and light lavender and she's really pretty, like a buried treasure. Hinata likes to be conservative, so she's wearing a purple jacket and baggy pants. Fake glasses covers her eyes. She's taking too long. Tenten whined, slouched against the door with her arms crossed. She's a rather tough girl, but she's a softie inside. Her element is earth and her guardian goddesses are Demeter and Persephone. Weapon of choice. Anything that is pointy and that can fly through the air. She has 100 accuracy and is completely logical when it comes to battle. Tenten is rather bitter, but she's also the mother figure in our group. Tenten's normal appearance is black hair tied up in a ponytail, blue eyes and rather muscular, but as a goddess she's got chestnut hair tied up two buns and brown eyes. Tenten's style is more bad girl than anything. She's got a turtleneck sleeveless sweater with fingerless gloves and baggy khakis. Geez, someone's cranky. Ino had finally made it. As you can guess, She is an air demigoddess and an airhead. Seriously, all that girl cares about are her clothes. Her guardian goddesses are Iris and Artemis, so I do not know where she gets her genes from. Her weapon of choice is ribbons, which are lightning quick and extremely lethal, and her fists. Ino is a spoiled brat sometimes, but she's also my best friend. She knows so much about poison it isn't funny. Ino has to look pretty all the time, so her normal look is a lot more glamorous than the rest of us. She now has black curly hair, hazel eyes and a movie star's body. In goddess form, she's got long blonde hair tied back in a ponytail, bright blue eyes and the body of a goddess like the rest of us. Oh, cute skirt Sakura, you have to let me borrow it. And we can teleport, Tenten, so no bugging. She was wearing a quarter-sleeve flowing blue top and a cute denim mini skirt. She refused to take off her silver bandages though, so they were still wrapped all around up to her forearms down to her hands. I snorted, typical Ino, to notice my outfit as the first thing when she came down. I had a white sleeveless top that tied at the back and had a matching white skirt with a cluster of cherry blossoms at the side. Sure, let's just go. And with that, we picked up our bags and vanished. Change point of view. That Dobie is an idiot. Which Dobie? The one standing on the desk over there, dancing for his fangirls and making a fool out of himself. Typical Naruto. Faye. The name's Uchiha Sasuke. I'm a pretty boy, and one of the most popular people in the school. Faye, it's annoying. Fangirls everywhere. I mean, have you ever been stalked before? To me, it's an everyday occurrence. It's scary. My friends, or at least as close to friends as I'll ever get, are popular as well. Uzumaki. Naruto is the only one who enjoys the attention, so he usually pulls crazy stunts like that. He's extremely energetic, loves ramen and adobe. He's also dense, hyper and extremely annoying. He's got spiky blonde hair, blue eyes and that annoying orange jacket of his. Naruto's only accomplishments are his class clown title and boxing medal. Naruto, get down. Nara Shikamaru drawled from his slouched seat by the window. His fangirls were crowded around him but he just stared at the clouds boredly. Of course, there were still squeals from his side of the room. Shikamaru's a lazy bum. He scores very low on his tests yet. He's genius with an IQ of 200. Ironic, isn't it? He's good with the scythe, believe it or not, and our resident tactics planner. His only accomplishment, though, is being undefeated in Go. His face is contorted into a grumpy look 24/7 and his head is shaped like a pineapple due to his ponytail. Nya. Naruto stuck his tongue out childishly, getting many girly giggles from his fan club. Make me Shi-chan. How troublesome, Shikamaru yawned. Okay, everybody settle down. And get to your assigned seats. Our teacher glared at the many fan girls who quickly scoot into one of the empty seats beside Naruto, Shikamaru and I. Where is Neji? We don't know sensei. One of Neji's fangirls, who had been weeping pathetically, piped up. Sorry sensei. Speak of the devil, there he was. Hyuga Neji walked through the door as if he owned the place. In a matter of speaking, he did, since the Hyugas are impossibly rich. He was cold, distant and had a pack of fangirls violent enough to rival my own. You could say he was my friend though. We were so alike, I guess we just agreed not to get in each other's way. His claim to fame was he was class representative, a fighting champion, and really rich. He's got long black hair, you'd think he'd be gay, and the pure white eyes that a Hyuga, and only a Hyuga, would have. We have 4 new students. As class rep, it's his job to show new kids around. Oh, in that case, come in. The teacher motioned for the new students to come in. Hi. A tallish girl with curly black hair and hazel eyes bounded into the classroom. My name's Ino Artis. She smiled at the class energetically. Hi, I'm Sakura Herodite, another, shorter, rather shy-looking girl with reddish-brown hair and brown eyes who was pretty subdued. She was kinda cute, though. Oh no, Uchiha Sasuke thinking a girl is cute. Not good, not good. At all. Okay, nothing just happened, calm down. I was so immersed in my thoughts, I nearly missed the next girl come in. Yo, she waved. The name's Tenten Demophone. This girl was obviously a tough girl, with her black hair tied up in a ponytail and blue eyes staring at the class menacingly. She's got a nice death glare. Hello. This girl was so shy it wasn't funny. Her head was bowed and her long black hair covered her face so you could only see the glasses hanging on the bridge of her nose. My name is Hinata Amthina. Welcome to our school, girls. The teacher attempted a pathetic motherly smile. Sakura-san, you can sit next to Sasuke. Sasuke, raise you hand. This girl had no right to intrude, but I raised my hand grudgingly. As the girl sat down, she gave me a small smile. Of course I didn't do anything, just glanced at her and Ed. Ino-san, you can sit next to Shikamaru. Shikamaru raised his hand, as the girl plopped down in her seat, winking to some guys as they watched her. Tenten-san, you can sit next to Neji. Tenten nodded and plopped down beside Neji, who she completely ignored. And Hinata-san, you can sit next to Naru. The teacher was cut off by a loud shriek of protest. Sensei, that's not fair. Why should that ugly and pathetic It was Sakura, one of Naruto's most avid fangirls. However, she wasn't able to get any farther. What happened also made my eyes go wide. Never insult Hinata-chan. One of the new girls, Sakura, I think, snarled. She was holding a ruler like a sword menacingly to Sakura's throat. She wasn't the only one though. Apparently, Ino had the bandages on her arms wrapped around Sakura's throat and Tenten was holding pencil like a dagger right between Sakura's eyes. In an odd way, they weren't the same girls anymore. They were more menacing. Girls, the teacher exclaimed, shocked. Let Sakura be released at once. Sakura glared at the teacher, but let Sakura go. Ino unwrapped her bandages and Tenten removed the pencil. Sakura still had some red welts, though, where they had hit her. You do Elise that you're going to have detention, the three of you. The teacher continued, now that Sakura had relinquished the ruler. Again, the girls shrugged nonplussed. Let me get one thing clear though, Sakura spoke, her voice ringing through the classroom. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. She fell back in the chair beside me. The rest of class passed quietly, even Naruto not making a crack like usual. These girls were weird. Change point of view to Hinata. Hello, I'm Hinata. I suppose you've seen me once or twice, so you should know I'm painfully shy. I wish I wasn't. I'm not so shy around Sakura-chan, Ino-chan, and Tenten-chan, but I'm very uncomfortable without them. And it's just my luck, they have detention during lunch. I sighed. Oh well, right now, I'm sitting at the base of an olive tree. Reading some Greek mythology. I am a demigoddess, aren't I? I want to know what happened back then. Hey you. I looked up warily. It was tall girl wearing rather revealing clothes. Even though it was a chilly fall day. Can I help you? I looked up from my book. Yeah, you can. Your friends hurt my little sister. She exclaimed roughly. I'm sorry about that, but she really shouldn't have insulted me in front of my friends. They don't take it lightly. I said, shrugging a little. Why, how dare you? She raised her hands to slap me. I narrowed my eyes, ready to block the hit. My specialty might be scythes, but it doesn't mean I can't fight with my fists. Put the hand down or I'll put it down for you, a voice came from behind me rather threateningly. I whirled around to see my seatmate from in class. I think his name was Naruto. Hello Naruto-kun, her voice was sickening sweet. Put your hand down, he repeated himself. Didn't you hear what I said, Yuri-senpai? But I was teaching this girl a lesson. The tall, rather sluttish girl protested. Her friends had every right to be pissed off at your sister, he shrugged. She shouldn't have started it. This Yuri girl was at a loss for words. She scowled at me and walked off in a huff. When she was gone, he sat down beside me. You're Hinata, right? He asked kindly. I nodded shyly. Oh Athena and Amphitrite, why did I have to be so shy around guys? My name's Naruto, Naruto Uzumaki. I'm Tenchi High's loudest prankster and I want to be the president of Japan someday. He flashed me a peace sign. I laughed. I couldn't help it. He was being so funny. You've got a pretty laugh. Hey, where are your friends? He asked, without taking a break. I inside, indeed detention. I near whispered. There goes the stuttering. Hey, that's where my friends are too. He laughed. I never knew it was so pretty out here. He sighed contently. I'm usually in detention as well. Really? Don't seem like the kind of person who's in detention a lot. Ah, you're sweet, he laughed. But actually, I'm the school's best prankster. Shikamaru always gets canned for not doing his homework. RK and Neji just dragged Sasuke Tem in there anyways. I blushed at the compliment. Isn't Neji your class representative? I asked. What would he be doing in the detention room? He's got to supervise. He can bring one person along to help him, and that would be Sasuke Tem. Naruto shrugged. Oh, I couldn't think of anything else to do, so I started reading my book. It was on the Greek hero Orpheus and how he tried to get his wife back. It was a really sad and romantic story, and it was one of my favorite myths. Tenten's actually talked to Persephone about this and what happened. I envy her. Hey Hinata-chan, Naruto asked her cutely. Why yes Naruto-kun, I answered shyly. What are you reading? He asked. It's a myth, about Orpheus. I responded quietly. Really? Can you tell me the story? Naruto asked. He snuggled against me when he asked, getting ready for a long story. My cheeks flamed bright red. He was snuggling. Against me. Against me. Okay, and That was how I passed my lunch hour telling Naruto about the story of Orpheus and how he tried to get his wife back but he failed because of Hades' trickery. I had just finished the story when the bell rang and Naruto helped me up. Hey, what do you have next? Naruto asked. History. I sighed. I hope we're doing Greek. History was one of my favorite subjects, but I hate the repeat of the stupid Japanese history again and again. Oh, okay. I've got math, so I'll see you later. He exclaimed. By the way Hinata, you're really cute. And he left me standing in the hall feeling like an idiot. Yep. I was in love. You learn the oddest things in gym. Ino's point of view. Back in the detention room. This is so utterly boring. Why does a goddess like Me have to do something as utterly mundane as detention? It's illogical, unreasonable, crazy and just plain stupid. I just nearly strangled a girl for insulting Hinata-chan, but that was no reason to put me in detention. Geez, that brat started it. I groaned for the umpteenth time, which got Tenten very mad. I felt something hit my head. A scrunched up piece of paper. Oh how original. Just used telepathy. I sent my thought to her. Oh oops, she responded sheepishly. We aren't supposed to use our powers in school though. Guys. Sakura interrupted us. We are not supposed to be using our powers in school. Yeah I know Tenten and I intoned gravely. But it was getting so dull. I added whiningly. Sakura hates it when I whine and I feel rebellious right now. Yeah I know, she sighed back to my great surprise. Sakura the goody hating detention. Yes I do hate detention, thank you very much. What? I yelled out loud, to my great embarrassment. Neji glared at me. What? I asked more innocently. That was extremely disruptive. Neji stated very simply. Well, if the people watching us weren't such pricks and I had just noticed that I emphasized the you're by pointing at that spiky-haired one sleeping, fly is undone. I finished triumphantly. Find a comeback to that loser. Faye, Mendokus, my pants don't have a fly, he drawled lazily, besides why would you be looking at me there? Oh shut up, your idiotic highness, I snapped back. Thoroughly embarrassed. Nice, Tenten snickered through my thoughts. Again, shut up, I snapped back. Yeah, why would you want to look at him? Sakura added devilishly. The dark-haired one is so much cuter. They're all dark-haired, FYI, I growled at her. She and Tenten were suppressing giggles. Yeah but the spiky-haired one that you weren't just ogling at is fine, Sakura snorted. Inner Sakura, Tenten and I both said. But she does always have a basis in truth, Tenten snickered evilly. So Saku, how long have you been crushing on him? I asked evilly. What? She exclaimed. I'm going to kill my inner conscience when detention is over. So you admit it? I smirked. I love teasing Sakura, it's so easy. Be right back, she growled and I could distantly hear the screaming and sounds of rabid animals stampeding. Back, she answered out of breath. What did you do? Tenten asked, torn between laughter and worry. Nothing permanent, Sakura sighed. Ed just brought out the rabid wolves and the blunt machetes. But all that aside, I found out the oddest thing that my inner conscience didn't tell me until I brought out the flamethrower. And that would be? I asked curiously. Aphrodite and Hera came to visit me last night, and apparently, Pandora's box, the 7 sins and foreboding are near, she responded casually. Finally, I exclaimed, we finally get some action. We're facing the boss of the bosses, something we've been chasing all our lives. When this is done, we'll probably lose our powers, or at least most of them. Tenten trailed off rather sadly. Let's just get these monsters beat and then we'll decide what to do. Sakura said decisively. We need to tell Hinata-chan. Stupid detention, I grumbled. Girls, I was led out of my reverie by the long-haired one. Wah, I mumbled rather stupidly. You can go now, detention's over. He said shortly. Yes, thank you Neji-san. Tenten yawned, getting up. Sakura and I exchanged a look. Ooh, let's go find Hinata-chan. I said and ran. Sakura yelled. No fair, you're the fastest. I grinned back over my shoulder and ran outside into the schoolyard. Like I said, so easy. My eyes caught a rather sweet scene, though. It was Hinata, with a guy snuggling up to her. Now that's something you don't see every day. I skidded to a stop and motioned for Sakura and Tenten to stop as well. Look, I pointed towards the cute couple. They both grinned as they saw the sight. Let's go spy on them. We crept up into some bushes nearby and listened in. Hinata was telling him her favorite myth. About Orpheus. We crouched there listening for a few minutes until I noticed the guy's friends, the boys from detention, started walking towards them. Not good, Hinata-chan to actually enjoy being with a guy. Not stuttering like crazy. So I ran towards the guys, trying to get them to listen to reason. Hey, I shouted, trying to get their attention. They turned towards me. Please don't get Naruto, I begged. Why? The long-haired guy, I think his name was Neji, asked, raising an eyebrow. You see, he's with my friend Hinata and they look so cute and they're enjoying each other's company and we want her to get a boyfriend or at least a boy that's her friend, so please don't disturb them. I said this in one breath. Please, the spiky-haired one that didn't look like he was in bad mood said, considering. And what would be to our advantage if we left them alone? This would be perfect time for some payback. Please, Sasuke-kun. Sakura pulled out her puppy eyes, which nobody could resist. Sasuke, Faye, Ed. Besides, if Hinata was hurt, humiliated, touched in the process, we would hunt you down, Tenten added casually, twirling a pen threateningly. Sakura and I both nodded. Like you could beat me, Neji scoffed. Let's just say you might end up a lot worse than the girl we apprehended this morning, I said sweetly, too sweetly. I'm not that we. Sasuke was cut off by the bell. Yes, we cheered and walked away. I looked over my shoulder and winked as we left, never mess with us. And proceeded to our next class. Grinning and ready to interrogate a certain water demigoddess. Change point of view to Shikamaru. Faye, women, how troublesome. That curly black-haired one is especially troublesome. What was her name? Enna or something? Faye, whatever, let's go, we've got math next. I yawned to a rather shocked Sasuke and Neji. I've known them for too long, so I can tell when they're shocked. They nodded and followed, brooding while the fangirls started to flock around us. Neji-kun, date me. Sasuke-kun, you're so dreamy. Shika-kun, beat me. I sighed, ticked off. When we finally got our books and into class, my ears were ringing. How troublesome. Math class was boring as usual, the troublesome teacher droning on and on about something that I already knew, advanced algebra or something troublesome like that. I slept the whole class away, so I don't remember anything. Ah well, we have gym next. Gym isn't nearly as troublesome as the other subjects, but it is tiring, and that's troublesome. But it's the only class Naruto shuts up in, so it works. I changed into my gym clothes and walked out yawning. We're doing weapons today, so it should be at least a little interesting. Hello class, the female teacher exclaimed. We're doing weapons today, so grab your weapons and go. Yay, the class cheered and split up into partners. I was with Sasuke, sighed again. Saint Blade and we were just fighting back and forth until Anko, the gym teacher, called. Guys, come over here. She exclaimed irritably. Naruto, Sasuke, Neji and I shuffled over. I need to see how well the girls do with weapons. She pointed to the 3 girls from this morning and the girl Naruto was with a recess. "Hi Hinata-chan," he exclaimed. The shy girl blushed and smiled shyly back. "Anyways, Sakura's skilled with swords. So Sasuke, test her please." She indicated. "Which swords?" Sakura asked. "You choose." Anko shrugged. Sakura went over and selected 2 kodachi while Sasuke picked up his favorite katana. "Shikamaru, you're good with scythe and so is Hinata, so you'll test her abilities." She nodded and picked up a scythe from the storeroom. "Anyo, sensei, do you have another blade from a scythe I could use?" She asked shyly. "Yeah, there should be some in the storeroom, why?" Anko asked slightly puzzled. "I like double-bladed scythes," Hinata answered picking out a blade and sticking it into the other end of her scythe. "Fine," Anko shrugged. "Naruto, you'll be testing Ino because she fights with her fists." Naruto grinned as he put on his gloves. Ino made no move to owe anything. "Ino, you have to put on the gear," Anko told her. "My ribbons work fine," she said with a shrug, indicating the silver ribbons wrapped up her arms. "Okay," Anko shrugged, "you're deaf, Neji. You'll be working with Tenten and Ino as well, because they both use long-range weapons." "I thought Ino was a fist fighter," Neji inquired. "Yes, but apparently, her ribbons are weapons as well, so let's give them a try." "Shall we?" Anko replied smoothly. She turned to the gym and yelled, "Everybody can stop now. We have a few matches to watch: Sasuke vs Sakura, Shikamaru vs Hinata, Naruto vs Ino, Neji vs Ino. Neji vs Ten. Get you butts to the stands now," she ordered. Everybody complied and within a few minutes, Sasuke and Sakura's match was about to start. Akura grinned at Sasuke daringly as she got into her starting stance. Her swords were crossed in front of her, one in front of her abdomen, the other pointing at his face. He just looked back at her expressionlessly, sword vertical. We nodded at each other, and at the whistle, neither of them moved. They gauged each other's stances for a while until Sakura made the first move. She brought her swords around and swung at his abdomen, making wide slashing movements in the process. Sasuke dodged and slashed at her neck. She parried it easily and swung again with one sword, which Sasuke narrowly avoided. Stage 1, Herodite's Flame. Ino whispered in my ear. "What?" I asked. Sakura's fighting style consists of 10 stages, they get more intense as they move along. Right now she's using stage 1, her simplest. Ino explained. I nodded, understanding. Sasuke changed his sword angle, cutting off the use of both her swords. She merely smirked and back-flipped over his head, bringing her swords with her in the process. She's skipped straight to stage 5, Hinata murmured. Tenten agreed. Sakura was pausing again, neither moving. The tension was so thick in the air, you could cut it with a knife. Not even those annoying fangirls were talking. This time, Sasuke made the first move, lashing out straight at her. She dodged and forced him back a little when he stabbed at her again. They kept blocking each other's shots. Whenever Sakura got stuck, she flipped over Sasuke's head and avoided him. She moved like she was dancing and Sasuke was her partner, each lashing out at each other. It continued like that for a few minutes until they picked it up. The moves became so fast that you could barely see them anymore and they were blurs bouncing all over the place. Level 7, she's not going to able to last anymore. Hinata whispered horrified, she's going to collapse in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ino counted down. Sure enough, Sakura fell. Tweet. Anko blew her whistle. That's it. Sasuke wins. A cheer erupted from the stands. Sasuke looked slightly pleased with himself as beads of sweat poured down his face. Sasuke, take her to the nurse's office. He nodded and picked her up bridal style and exited the gym to the scowls of many of his fangirls. Switched to Sakura's point of view. URG. I woke up sleepily from a long nap. Blinking I looked around the room tiredly and grinned. There was a hottie leaning on the door frame. Time to have some fun. I grinned wickedly as I got up. Hello. I purred lightly. He looked at me oddly. Good, you're awake, let's go back to class. He made to turn around but I stopped him. He wasn't getting away that easily. Why were you here in the first place? I giggled. Did you save me? I grinned coyly and got a little closer to him. Get away from me, he said bluntly. Ah, but I haven't thanked you yet. I pouted slightly. I leaned in a little more, but then. Is Miss Herodite awake yet? The nurse came in, causing me to spin around. Shoot, she's back. Darn it, my head feels a little dizzy. What? I asked the nurse. I see you're awake. The nurse stared at me. Just remember, the sick wing isn't a place to make out, okay? I got curious at her statement. Make out? Who else is here? Who would I make out with? It's okay, nurse, I'm just helping her out, Sasuke replied. Wait, Sasuke was here. What happened? I was about to beep him before you came back, but no, you just had to ruin the fun. You didn't. I did. He saved you, remember? I had to thank him properly. Arg, I'm going to kill you. When the nurse left, I turned to him nervously. Sorry about that, I'm schizophrenic. I explained, embarrassed. Great, now he's gonna think I'm a freak. He mumbled. Let's just get back to class. I nodded meekly and followed him out shyly. You can learn the oddest things in Gym Part 2. Tenten's point of view. When Sasuke and Sakura came back into the gym, Shikamaru and Hinata were standing in position, getting ready for their fight. Shikamaru was just standing there, with his scythe planted beside him. It had taken large amounts of coaxing to actually get Shikamaru into the ring, so they were only starting now. Hinata had her ready stance as well, her double-ended scythe held straight in front of her with two hands. I spared Sasuke and Sakura a glance when they came in. Sakura resembled a tomato with reddish-brown hair, and you could see the lightest tinge of red on Sasuke's cheek. What happened? I asked Sakura, smirking. Nothing. Tell you later. She shook her head vehemently. Something happened back there with that Sasuke guy. Ino asked slyly. Nothing. Sakura cried. Hey, isn't this Hinata-chan's match? Why so late? I smirked. Something happened. That's for Sue. Ri, and she wasn't going to tell us right now. Fine, be that way. We'll get it out of her later. Shikamaru was being incredible lazy. I explained casually. They should be starting now. He's so lazy, do you think he's possessed by sloth? Sakura asked curiously. Nope. Didn't sense anything abnormal. Ino replied. Hinata would tell us if there was. Ah well. The match is starting. I heard the whistle blow and watched. Nobody made a move. Tick. Tock. Tick. Tock. Suddenly, Hinata flicked her wrist and her scythe went spinning like a boomerang towards Shikamaru. He dodged it by doing the splits in the air, and lunged towards Hinata. Hinata stood her ground until the last second, when she vaulted over Shikamaru and caught her boomerang scythe. She swung at his unprotected back, blade whistling with the speed of her blow. No, Ino exclaimed. Hinata. At the last second, she stopped her blade a hair's breadth away from his back. I win, she simply said and pulled her scythe back. A shocked silence filled the air. Whoever knew that shy, quiet, peaceful Hinata was capable of almost killing someone? Well, Sakura, Ino and I had seen her do it several times, but never has she ever come close to harming anyone in her mortal form. Hinata's growing up. What did you think, guys? Nata smiled at us. That was amazing, Hinata-chan. Naruto, that blonde hyper, spiky-haired guy exclaimed. Thank you. Naruto-kun. She turned around and smiled at the blonde, red as a tomato and stuttering like crazy. He's right, Hinata, you were great. I chimed in. The whole class seemed to break from the initial shock and started applauding tumultuously, all except for some girls sulking in the corner. I snorted. Fangirls, pathetic. Good fight. I won't underestimate you again, Shikamaru half smirked at Hinata. She smiled back awkwardly. Thank you, Nara-san. Call me Shikamaru. Honorifics are troublesome. He yawned and promptly fell asleep. I saw Ino's eyes following him rather strangely. See something you like? I smirked at her. No, she exclaimed a little too quickly. Ino-chan, I felt the slightest hint of jealousy in you, Hinata accused her gently. Hey look, my match is starting, she said quickly, walking into the ring. Here, my weights. Ino tossed me her weights and her bandages, which I set down beside me with a thump. She got into her ready position, which was her arms crossed in front of her in fists and her feet planted shoulder width apart. Naruto did a standard position, his left arm curled at his side and his right fist thrust forward. Ko blew the whistle and the match started. Naruto made the first move, punching straight ahead, aiming for Ino's chest. She moved out of the way and hooked her fist upwards, just missing Naruto's outstretched arms. "So you're serious?" Naruto grinned with a mischievous look in his eye. "Yep." Ino grinned back. They faced each other once again, and then this time, Ino lunged towards Naruto. EY started exchanging blow for blow, never hitting the other. This guy was almost as good as Ino in goddess mode. She flipped over his head and tried to hit him off guard, but he turned around and met her blow for blow. Their yells became more tired and more breathy, but neither was giving up. I could see Anko checking her watch carefully. When I thought that finally, one of them would collapse, she blew her whistle. Almost automatically, they stopped, but not without Ino landing a punch on Naruto's chest, which winded him. "Oops," she giggled when Naruto gasped for air. "Ino," Hinata exclaimed, exasperated. She ran to Naruto's side and handed him a cream, which he waved away. "Don't worry," he gasped. "I'll be fine in a minute," he smiled at Hinata wanly. "This Naruto guy can revive himself in under 5 minutes. Sakura exclaimed to me. "Yeah, that's odd, even though Ino's in mortal mode, she'd wind a guy for maybe 10 minutes. With some broken ribs, of course, but this guy can still move." I responded, shocked. "He's strong." "Ouch, that's going to leave a bruise." Naruto winced as he picked himself off the floor. "Only a bruise?" Hinata asked, with a raised eyebrow. "Yeah, I don't think anything's broken." He winced as he got up. "Here, I'll take you to the nurse's office." She helped Naruto up and walked him towards the door. "How about that?" Ino giggled as she walked out of the ring. "Yeah, he could still walk." Sakura exclaimed. "That," and Hinata actually said a few sentences without stuttering. Ino exclaimed. "Oh Hera, you're right, she did." Sakura exclaimed gleefully. "Am I the only one who noticed that dude heals abnormally fast?" I asked, my brows still furrowed. "It doesn't make any sense. He should still be down. Ino has knocked out guys with a punch like that, and this guy barely even feels it. Bruises don't count as anything." "Tenten." Ino waved a hand in front of my face. "Oh, yeah," I responded stupidly, having just been shocked out of my thoughts. "Can you fight against me instead of that Neji dude?" Ino asked. "He might freak out a little, but you know my moves." "Sure, I guess, I need to warm up." I shrugged and we asked Anko. She said it was fine, and we both took our places on the mat. Ino grinned at me and I smirked back. We stood loose, my various weapons clinking at my side. Ino was my sparring partner, so I did know most of her moves and I knew how to counter them. We always stood loose tough at the beginning so that Ino wouldn't be able to know which weapons I was going to use first, and so I didn't know what move she was going to use. We had a mutual understanding that that was going to happen. "Are you ready?" Anko asked us. We both nodded. She shrugged and blew the whistle. In an instant we took off into the sky. I was reaching for my kunai and she was whipping her steel ribbons at me. I dodged easily and sent my kunai directly towards her. She dodged, but I was pulling out the rest of my arsenal. Shurikens, katana, more kunai, nunchaka, sai, and anything else in my arsenal I threw at her. I kept my favorite katana hidden though. After my attack is done, it was her turn. As expected, Ino was twirling her steel NDS around in circles and repealing all my attacks, sending my weapons in a bunch of different directions. Many girly shrieks ensued as people ducked to avoid the weapons. Sakura and Hinata weren't bothered, just spun their own weapons to protect themselves. When my last weapons had been repealed, Ino took her stance. With an unknown fury to all of them but the E4, Ino started throwing her ribbons at me. I smirked and pulled out my favorite katana, which had been hiding in my shirt. "Get your mind out of the gutters." I snapped it into place and counter-struck Ino's lashes. Sakura might be the mistress when it came to swords, but to spar with Ino for several years, you had to be pretty good with defense. I felt Ino do her ultimate attack and knew she wanted to end this. "All right, Phoenix," I asked. "You know it." She winked back to me. We descended from our aerial positions and jumped up again, this time heading straight for each other. At the top, we linked weapons. Ino's ribbons tangled around my katana, and we let go of our weapons and fell. I just did a backflip and Ino mirrored me. We stood, not facing each other. Our weapons fell between us with a clatter. You could have sliced the tension with a knife. I grinned. I think that was long enough. Hinata cut into both of our thoughts. Yeah, it was Ino. Sakura chimed in. Fine. Ino sighed. 1 2 3 at the same time, we turned around. Ino jerked her ribbons back and flung my katana back at me. Good match, I smirked, catching my katana in midair. You too, Ino smiled back. Is it over? Naruto asked puzzledly. It's over, Hinata laughed a little. They always end off like that, Phoenix position. Anko realized that the match was over and blew the whistle. Just then, the bell rang. Darn it, I didn't get to fight the other guy. We won't need you to fight Neji since I already know what you can do now, Anko summarized. My mouth dropped open. No, I exclaimed, can I fight him anyways? Anko chuckled. Yeah sure, our next class. Just ask him to spar with you. She waved goodbye and headed into the office. I groaned. I hate asking guys for things. With a resigned sigh, I pulled myself into the change room and got out of my gym clothes. Gym was the last period of the day. It was a double period and we were headed out, chatting about the fights. That was amazing, Hinata. Ino exclaimed, acting incredibly hyper. She was sipping an iced cappuccino. Thank you, but your match was exceptionally good, Hinata blushed, sipping some Colombian coffee. That I must agree with, fair Hinata, a voice came from behind us. Hinata jumped, almost spilling coffee over herself. Hello Naruto-kun, Hinata stuttered. What are you doing? Sakura screeched. Holding her fist up, Ino cracked her knuckles as well. I had to hold back my laughter though, he looked so pathetic. Eep, Hinata-chan, hide me, he squealed and scampered behind Hinata. We all started laughing at Naruto. What did you come for, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked the boy behind her. Well, the guys and I just wanted to know if you lovely ladies would come to the mall with us. He came out wearing his foxy grin again. Oh, okay, Ino smiled. She loved the mall, sure. Do they have an arcade? I asked. I am not much of a shopper and usually spend my time playing Dance Revolution when my friends are shopping. Yep, Naruto exclaimed. So, we'll see you on Sunday, noon-ish, at the food court. He asked. We nodded in agreement. Great, see you there. He waved as he ran back to his friends. Change point of view to Neji. They said yes. Naruto hollered, out of breath. Great. Shikamaru yawned. Why did you drag me into this again? I snorted, ticked off. I had better things to do than meet with a bunch of silly fangirls. Because you need to better know the girls. Naruto exclaimed. You and Tenten-san would get along nicely. He mused. Right. You just want to see the shy one again, Sasuke snorted. Yeah, so, she's cute. Naruto defended himself. At least I like girls. Naruto, we've gone over this before, I am not gay, Sasuke gritted his teeth. Prove it, Naruto challenged. Gee, Ed a girlfriend from one of those new girls, just not Hinata. Then we'll know if you're gay. Fine, Sasuke shrugged. Which one? Naruto squinted his eyes. Just go for the sword fighting one. I cut in impatiently. I wanted to get to the mall to practice DDR. Yeah, Sakura or whatever her name was. Naruto agreed. Fine, Sasuke shrugged. This'll turn out to troublesome, Shikamaru predicted. Whatever, let's just go, I snorted edgily. To the mall, Naruto exclaimed, and off we went, unaware of stalkers. The mall and fun and chaos. Sakura's point of view. I sat on the sofa in our living room. Bored. Ino, like always, was taking forever to get ready. Hinata was reading a book, one of her favorite myths about Hercule's 12 tasks, while Tenten was just polishing her favorite blades. Let's go. Oh, Inner Sakura exclaimed, extremely ticked off. We have to wait for Ino, dummy. But I wanna see that hot guy again. We're not late. Yeah, but you know you wanna see that Sasuke hottie again. Oh shut up, I do not. Sue or you don't. Just like there isn't a blush on your cheeks right now and you wore your best clothes, just for him. What? I self-conscio. USLY smoothed down my knee-length white halter skirt with a silver cherry blossom chain belt. It was my favorite dress and I just felt like wearing it today. I'm re-Edie, Ino sang as she hopped down the stairs. Usually, She'd ride down the banister, but I guess in her white leather skirt and light purple sleeveless top, she didn't want to. Took you a while. Tenten put down her blades. She wore her favorite low-riding black capris and a sleeveless pink Chinese-styled top. She also wore her favorite accessories, her silver chains. Let's go, Hinata said shyly, smoothing out her favorite dress. It was a tad fancier than the rest of us, styled like a kimono in light blue, but it only went down to her knees and was tied with a light purple white sash and trimmed in the same material. There were dragons in silver swirling around her. Hurry up already. Ino was already out the door and strapping on her helmet. We each had a Vespa scooter, each corresponding with our elements and our names. Ino's was purple-blue night scene with a sky boar painted on it. Hinata's was an ocean scene with a beam of light illuminating a pearl, Tenten's leaves on a black background being blown away. Mine had burnt cherry blossoms in flames. I shrieked excitedly. We laughed at the startled pedestrians and enjoyed scaring them. We finally did get to the mall though, tired and breathless. As we made our way to the food court, a large group of girls were gathering. Fangirls, I thought darkly. Ew, I can smell their cheap perfume from here. Ino scrunched her nose. Is it just me or they put on more of that disgusting goop than ever? Tenten winched in disgust. They're around the guys, Hinata noted. Come on, let's go save them. I made my way towards the nauseous-looking Sasuke, Neji, Shikamaru and Naruto. Hi guys, I chirped brightly, feeling the glares I was getting. Hi Sakura-chan, Naruto exclaimed brightly. Where's the rest of them? Hinata, Ino and Tenten are still trying to get through, I explained. Beeping my head towards my friends, who were still fighting their way through the crowd. Allow us, Neji said smoothly, and Naruto, Shikamaru and he made their way towards the bitch fight. Get out of our way before you suffocate us with that cheap perfume you're wearing. Ino exclaimed, trying to get though. No way, slut, Sakura sneered. There is no way. That shy freak is going any closer to Naruto-sama. Why you shouldn't say that. I have my side handy, Hinata said quietly with a dangerous undertone. Faye, like you could do any harm, another fangirl sneered. Would why you like to SC? Hinata challenged, her voice staying its quiet volume. In a flash Hinata whipped out her scythe and held it to Sakura's neck. Hinata, don't waste your time, Tenten snorted. These painted clowns don't know what's not good for them. Painted clowns, Yuri shrieked. I am not a painted clown. Really? Then what's all that junk on your face? Tenten bit back. It's called makeup. FYI, Yuri said snottily. Really Yuri-senpai? You look like a clown. Neji, Naruto and Shikamaru had finally made it to the girls. Finally, Tenten threw up her hands in mock relief. Somebody besides us has a brain. Hello and Naruto-kun, Hinata smiled shyly. Naruto-kun, Sakura exclaimed and latched onto Naruto's arm. Sakura-san, please get off my arm, Naruto said in a strained smile. Hinata and her friends were going to join us for a while, so I'd appreciate it if you'd let me through. From here, I could see Hinata sigh in relief. What? No, Neji-kun, you're really going to hang out with those losers? Yuri whined piteously. No, we aren't going to hang out with your pathetic group of clowns, but we are going to spend time with these girls, Neji shot back quite bluntly. Treated, Ino crowed. Tenten smirked at the baffled fangirl. Shut up you pig, another fangirl, presumably Shikamaru's because she was choking him, retorted. You're too troublesome, Machiko. Shikamaru tried to say, get off me. I suggest you do, or I'll show you how hard I punched Naruto, Ino threatened. Machiko grumbled, but in the end, she got off Shikamaru, much to his relief. Anyways, ladies, I think Sasuke and Sakura are waiting for us, and they're having quite a laugh watching this pathetic scene, Naruto grinned, offering his arm to a cherry-red Hinata and ignoring the fangirls. We mustn't keep them waiting too long, now shall we? Ino was barely containing her giggles. They made their way through the surprised crowd. Hi guys, I hope we didn't keep you for too long, Tenten said chirpily. Unless of course, you found something else to entertain you, Ino added suggestively. Ino pig, you pervert. I scoffed. As long as I could remember. We've had those nicknames. I call her pig and she calls me forehead girl. It's a long story. What? Forehead girl, She responded innocently. He'd be your first boyfriend, wouldn't he? Shut up. I flushed. It's true, as a guardian, I've never had time for guys. She didn't have to bring it up though. In front of Sasuke-kun as well. Sasuke-kun is it now? Shut up. Daniil. Shush, they're talking. Sakura. Hinata stuttered, waving a hand in front of my face. Oh, yeah, I muttered, a little shocked. Snap out of it, girl. Ino replied. We've only said your name 3 times. Sorry, sheesh, I retorted. What did you want to ask? Where do you want to go? Tenten asked. This is a huge mall. Remember the West Edmonton Mall in Canada? It's that big. Ino squealed. Cool, I exclaimed. Do they have all the rides? Yep, this mall does, Naruto nodded. It's much bigger than that West Edmonton place. That it is, Shikamaru nodded. Have you ever been to Canada? Tenten asked incredulously. This place was designed by the same architect. He made sure it was bigger, Shikamaru stated a matter-of-factly. Ooh, Ino mouthed. What are we waiting for? Hinata smiled. I want to go on the water rides. But I wanna go on the roller coaster. Tenten whined. No fair. I want to go on the Ferris wheel. I shot back. We are so going on the zipper. Ino exclaimed. We would have kept bickering about this but Naruto stepped in. Ladies, how about Sasuke will escort Sakura to the Ferris wheel, cause he likes the cannonball in this area. And Neji go with Tenten to the roller coaster, because he just likes it. Shikamaru takes Ino to the zipper cause, well, I said so. Hinata and I will go to the water slides. We'll all meet back here to do some serious DDR later at about 5-ish. Okay, bye. Naruto didn't let us say anything but he just dragged Hinata off. Dobi. Sasuke shook his head. He does have a point though, we might as well, Shikamaru yawned. How troublesome. I could see a vein throbbing on Ino's head. Let's go then. Bye guys. I dragged Sasuke off in a random direction. As soon as we were out of earshot I giggled. I'm so going to interrogate those 3 when we get back. Where are we, anyways? Sasuke asked coldly. I dunno, I shrugged. Baka, now he thinks you're an absolute idiot. You know what, shut up for a while. Will you? Fine. I felt her retreat to the depths of my mind. What did you say? I asked cheerily. Nothing. He raised his eyebrows. Come on, the Ferris wheel is that way. He turned around and started walking in an opposite direction. I sighed and trailed after him. Men. It almost feels like we're being stalked. Change point of view to Ino. Are we going? I asked impatiently. Fine. Troublesome women, Shikamaru yawned. Neji-san, can you show me where the roller coaster is? Tenten asked, nearly hopping because of her excitement. He snorted and walked off in disdain. Tenten shrugged and followed him. The zipper's that way. Shikamaru jerked a thumb in a random direction. He then plopped down on the bench. Arg, stupid annoying guys. I grabbed his ear. Extremely painful, by the way, and the best way to get a stubborn guy to agree. Now listen here, you're coming with me. I was shaking his ear while he was wincing in pain. Shika-kun. I turned towards the voice. A tall blonde with 4 spiky ponytails was running towards us. She was wearing a sand and silver yukata that was fairly loose and ended at her knees. When she finally reached us, she panted for a few moments and to my great surprise, she pulled her other ear. You idiot, she screeched. You're supposed to show this girl around and you're about to sleep. What kind of courtesy is that? Troublesome women, let go of my ears. He shouted. I grinned mischievously at her. No, I don't think we will, and still holding onto his ear I stuck out my hand. Nice to meet you, I'm Ino Artis. I know, she cut me off. I sit behind you in math. Sabukano Tamari, pleasure to meet you too. Why are you here with this lazy bum? He and his friends invited my friends and me to come to the mall with them. The others ditched me so I'm left with him. I responded. Ladies, I hate to interrupt this scene but people are staring, Shikamaru said in a strained tone. He was right. Alrighty people, nothing to see, move it. Tamari called. Immediately, people began moving. I wish I had that type of control over people, I sighed. Would life be so much easier if I did? It comes with being a rich man's daughter. She shrugged. Not great, but it comes in handy. Ah. I nodded. Alright lazy bum. You were supposed to take us to the zipper, so make a move already. Temari barked into Shikamaru's outstretched ear. Alright, Shikamaru grumbled. How do you know where we're going anyways? Naruto and that Hinata girl, Temari replied, they looked so cute together. They told me they had ditched her with you, so I came to make sure you actually went. Now let's go, Mr. Smarty Pants. Let go of my ears first. He yelped. Oops, I think I pulled that a little too hard. Temari and I let go of his ears and we followed him, grumbling, to a huge ride. Welcome to the zipper, this part of the mall's best attraction. Temari said proudly. Shika-kun and mine family designed and paid for the whole thing, so we pretty much get free entry. Come on. She started running towards the ride. I followed her until I was right in front of it. It was huge. In any of the rides or variations I've been to, and trust me, I've been to a lot, this one takes the cake. In the zipper, you get into a cart which flips over and over and over again while the whole ride moves. It's amazing. Done gawking yet? Shikamaru asked boredly. This one is actually different than others, in that it not only goes in a whole circle, it goes in a sphere as well. It's one of the best in the world. I can tell, I agreed, for once not responding to the quip at the beginning. Hurry up, lazy pants. Temari called. She was already in front of the huge line. We followed her up there. Much to the scorn of many of the waiters, but when they saw Shikamaru, they stopped. When we reached the front of the line, Temari promptly threw us into a car, closed the door shut and waved. The carts only hold two, so you two have fun. She cheerfully waved, and before Shikamaru could protest, the ride was already moving. I could almost feel something else. Something evil through the excitement I was feeling. Change point of view to Tenten. Neji-san, I asked shyly. Damn it, I do not like talking to mute guys that resemble really hot models and annoyingly quiet. Why do the fates taunt me so? Must get Persephone to talk to them. Wait a sec, really hot models. Where'd that come from? Gah, I shook my head. I thought you wanted to go on the roller coaster. He asked, annoyed. Yeah, I do, I answered slowly, confused. Don't shake your head, it's confusing, he sighed. Come on, again, he turns around and makes me follow him. Dude, I was going to ask you a question. I said, ticked off. Talk about attitude, then ask. I don't like you trailing me like a desperate fangirl, he answered bluntly. This guy sure doesn't like to talk. Fine, Neji-sama, I stressed the honorific mockingly. Don't call me that, you sound like an irritating fangirl, he responded. Okay, Neji-kun, I teased him childishly. What did Naruto mean by the DDR thing? The beach always holds a DDR competition, among other things. We compete. I hate Naruto for making us do it though, he organizes most of it and he makes us participate. I do the DDR section, Naruto does swimming. Shikamaru does the marathon because Temari-chan makes him, and Sasuke does the brain challenge. The problem is, he always pairs us up with some trying fangirl, so we can never win the whole competition. He replied, still in a monotone. I stared at him. How can he do that? Speak in monotone and relay so much information. Wait. Beach means swimming, swimming means bathing suits, and bathing suits means shopping. No, darn it, I exclaimed. Neji looked at me oddly. What? So sue me, I'm a girl that doesn't like shopping, got a problem with that? What? He asked, more demanded. Beach means swimming, swimming means bathing suits, and bathing suits means shopping. And I really want to DDR. I wailed. Okay. Let's just go. Neji just walked away calmly and I followed him towards the best roller coaster I have ever seen. It had so many loops and dead ends and loops and high hills and more loops. I can't wait. When we reached the ride, we waited at the end, ignoring the fangirls gushing beside us. As we waited, though, the number of flirtatious people increased, by a lot. It was annoying. When I was just busily staring at my shoes, Neji nudged me. Huh, I asked stupidly and noticed we had to move forward. Oh, right, I shuffled forward embarrassedly. Ditzy girlfriend, you have there Hyuga, a voice sneered behind us. I whipped around and saw what looked like a gothic clown. He was wearing all black and he had purple paint all over his face in interesting designs. Who are you? What gender are you and why are you wearing makeup? I asked suspiciously. Never trust men with painted faces, I learned that the hard way. Kankuro-kun, be nice to the newest example of youth. Another guy wearing green spandex and a blinding smile exclaimed. He had an older counterpart there. Greetings, flower, excuse my odd companion, he lacks youth. I, however, have plenty of it. I am Tenchi Hai's green beast, Rock Lee, and defender of youth. Yosh, he flashed a corny pose. The man behind him burst into tears. What a wonderful speech, Lee. You are brimming with youth. Guy-sensei. The younger green spandex guy sobbed. Lee, Guy-sensei. Lee, Guy-sensei. Lee, shut up. You're embarrassing us. Neji remarked bluntly. Ah, Neji, my eternal rival. You are here escorting this beautiful flower around. Where is you friend? Sakura-san, by the way. Lee asked, breaking from the not-so-tender embrace. She's around with Sasuke. We're going to be at the beach party later, I smiled at him. This guy was weird but he was funny. He seemed to be, anyways. Yosh, I must save her from the boredom of Sasuke-san. And with that, he ran off, followed by Guy. That was odd, but he seems nice, I remarked quietly to Neji. Wasn't that Guy-sensei, the gym teacher? Yes, he's also Lee's adopted father. The boy has no artistic skill whatsoever and is a bit stupid, but he is a decent fighter. Neji said, again in a monotone. Doesn't this guy have emotions? Well, that's high praise from the Hyuga snob, the so-called Kankuro sneered. You didn't answer my questions, clown person. Who are you, what gender are you and why are you wearing makeup? I demanded. All this talk was keeping me away from my roller coaster. I wanna get on. Clown person. The great Sabukano Kankuro doesn't wear makeup. It's kabuki paint, he screeched, clearly irritated. I grinned. I can see why Ino loves doing this so much. Suor it is. Now what self-respecting female would wear that goop? I don't think even Sakura and her monkeys definitely wouldn't, I snorted. I'm male. Male I tell you, he screeched. You and those other sluts can't judge me. Reet. I grinned evilly. And lemme guess, you're also straight. He. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against gay guys, but this was too funny. I mean, the guy was turning purple. Tenten, that's enough. Even though I myself have doubts of his bipolity, it's time to go on to the ride. Neji cut in. That guy is no fun. Fine, I pouted. Go have fun on your little date, fangirl, it's sure to be your last, he called after us mockingly. Wait, Neji-kun, I wanna prove if he's male or not. I walked over to him sweetly and drove my foot into his family jewels. He groaned and doubled over in pain. Yep, he was male all right, never associate me with those air-headed bimbos. I growled into his ear and joined Neji in the ride of my life, leaving a groaning Kankuro behind. Something felt almost ominous though. Oh loops, here I come. Change point of view to Hinata. Ah, the guy of my dreams is holding my hand. Holding my hand. My hand. I feel like a tomato. It's just me and Naruto. Uh-oh. Just me and Naruto means I'll actually have to talk to him. Arg. Curse my shyness. Ha ha ha. That was fun. Naruto laughed. Huh. Anyo. What en Naruto-kun? Did you see their faces? Hehehehe. He trailed off. Anyo. Naruto-kun, where's the water slides? I asked. Over there. Why? He asked puzzled. Nothing, I blushed. So he really wasn't going to take me onto a water park, I sighed. Are you sad, Hinata-chan? He asked, looking at me concerned. No, not really. I tried to smile back at him. He was a nice guy though. Well, you look sad, so I'm taking you to the food court. Ramen cures everything, he declared loudly and pulled me along once again. I sighed and smiled. He might be a little dense but he's thoughtful. When we got to the food area, which was crammed with thousands of different restaurants, Naruto dragged me instantly to a raw men's stand tucked away in the corner of the large courtyard. It smelled really good. The stand had a few wayfarers who were eating and talking peacefully under the colorful banner that said, Ichiraku. Apparently Naruto was a regular because the eaters look up to him and waved. He grinned and waved back to them and then called to the girl at the stand. 5 bowls of miso and 1 bowl for the lady at my side, Ayame. Coming right up. What flavor? she asked with a grin. Shrimp please. I prodded my index fingers. Arg, I hate being so shy. Poking my fingers is a habit I've had for a while. Now and I do that whenever I'm nervous to not have to look at the person I'm talking to. All right, she hollered out the order to the back of the stand while Naruto and I sat down by the counter. So Naruto, who's the gal who's had the misfortune of going out with you? Ayame, the ramen girl, asked teasingly. We're not dating, Naruto replied. I'm still single, you know, he winked suggestively at Ayame. I clenched my fists. He didn't have to be so rude and just shove it in my face that he didn't like me. Not in a million years, she scoffed. Ah, come on, Ayame-chan, you know you wanna, he grinned pervertedly. You have a date, she retorted. Ayame-san, Naruto and I aren't dating. Do you have a map of the plaza? I asked. I can't take it anymore. The guy the first have fell head over heels for drags me away from my friends and makes me feel like a total and absolute idiot. Not to mention flirts with another girl right in my face, now is looking at me puzzled. I can't stand it. I furiously wiped up my tears, accepted the map a concerned Ayame provided and literally ran out of the store. Wait, Hinata-chan, was that Naruto calling me back? Nah, I couldn't be, he's probably flirting with the other girl and thinking I'm weird. Oh well, oomph. I had run right into another person and fell down. Hey miss, are you alright? A voice asked. I looked up and saw a boy with red triangles on his face and a white puppy dog. Beside him stood a boy with sunglasses and a huge jacket and a boy with red hair and a tattoo on his forehead. He helped me up and grinned at me. I'm Inuzuka Kiba. And those two behind me are Aburame Shino and Sabukano Gaara. Pleased to meet you. Nice to meet you all. I smiled shyly. I'm Hinata Amthina. Were you running away from Naruto? Gaara asked in a monotone. Well, why you see, I hate stuttering. Don't worry about it, Naruto's a dense idiot most of the time, Kiba supplied. I laughed at this. He's really sweet though. Wow, the baka has a girlfriend. Kiba laughed. Not girlfriend, I muttered, he made that pretty clear. Ouch, now why would he want to give up someone as pretty as you? Kiba grinned. I blushed. This guy was a flatterer. But I doubt he meant it. Arf. The puppy on Kiba's head barked. Oh, right, I haven't introduced Akamaru. He's my puppy, Kiba explained. Ah, he's cute. I love dogs. Where are you headed? Shino spoke up. IW was thinking of going to the B bathing suit store. IW want to go on the W water rides. I blushed. All right then, we're showing you around, Kiba declared and Akamaru barked in agreement. Why you are really don't have to, I protested. Amthina-san, we're friends of Naruto. He'd want us to. Besides we have nothing better to do, Shino said flatly. Alright then, call me Hinata, please, I laughed as I was carted away by the two boys. Gaara was not behind us, though and in the midst of the merriment, I could feel something. Green puppies. Sasuke's point of view. Why did I let the Dobi taunt me into this? Why did I let him goad me into seducing a girl? Geez, Sakura's going to hate me after this, but I had to, or it would kill my pride. I gulped as we got on. Are you okay? She asked concerned. That word is a savior, because if I didn't say that, I'd be stuttering like a fool, which I am not. Let's just go in, Herodite-san. Okay, she shrugged as we entered the cart. The girl at the gate gave her a glare and she snarled back. God, this woman has so much fire. So, Uchiha-san, what's your favorite ride anyways? And please don't call me Herodite-san. I prefer Sakura, she asked me. The cannonball, I responded bluntly. Don't call me Uchiha-san, it's annoying. It wakes me think of my brother. Pathetic excuse for a worm, someday. Uchiha-san. I mean Sasuke-san. Again, I cut her off. Don't call me san. It's annoying as well. Alright. Then what do you want me to call you? You can figure it out. URG. You damn, patronizing men. Quote. And you lovely, cuddly women. Shut up saucy cakes. Saucy cakes. Yep. Oh. K. What? She pouted angelically at me. Gods, she was gorgeous. I turned away to hide my slightly red cheeks. We sat there as silence for a while after that exchange. I could have kicked myself for that. I sneaked a look at Sakura, who was looking out the glass windows like a child in a candy store. Saucy cakes, is that the zipper? Sakura pointed at the flashing ride that was spinning around in a lot of different directions. Ah, I replied, standing right above her shoulder. Her body was pressed against the glass of the compartment and her face was smooshed onto it as well. Her lips were probably beeping the window too. No. Bad thoughts. Sakura turned around. We were so close it was unnerving, but... Saucy cakes, I just remembered something. That DDR thing, where is it? She asked me innocently. The beach. Ooh, that would explain why they have DDR machines over there. And swimming lanes and running tracks and a flashy booth thing. That's the competition. What competition? I threw her a pamphlet. Hey, Saucy cakes, this looks like fun and all, but why is it called the Ramen Beach? Naruto's family made it. Naruto's dad built this before he died and he left Naruto a huge legacy, almost as big as mine. Naruto's dad, I think, was the president of Japan, and Naruto wants to follow in his footsteps. It's a crazy dream, but he might just do it. Every few months, there's a competition and he forces us to join. Oh, so he forces you guys to enter the competition. Ah, okay. Want to do the answering question thingy with me? That would be the only thing I excel in. Better you than some other fangirl. Yay. Sakura glomped me unceremoniously as the ride came to an abrupt stop. Ouch. What just happened? I think the ride broke down. She was lying across me in the most inappropriate way. We were sprawled on the floor of the cart with her legs between mine, her arms still locked around my neck and her body pressing onto mine. No, she exclaimed, I hate life. It's so mean. Hera, and I wanted to go to that beach. It's been so long since I've been to one. Saku, it would have been so fun, and I get another excuse to bug Tenten-chan about. Sakura, my poor ears, she had been wailing into them for the past minute. Yes, Saucy cakes, she blinked at me innocently. I could see every detail on her face, her eyes, her nose. The way that her hair framed her face perfectly, her soft lips. Bad thoughts. Can you get off me? I asked curtly. She blinked and noticed the position we were in. She scrambled off and apologizing profusely until I stopped her. At least I'm not stuck up here with a fangirl, I mumble, rubbing my head. What do you have against fangirls? She asked me, curiously. Have you ever been stalked almost every day? Had to install a state-of-the-art alarm system every month to keep them from jumping you and stealing your underwear and be harassed every day of the year? I retorted. By the way, this was all true. Sakura's eyes bulged. Wow, yeah, welcome to my life. Ow, I rubbed my head gingerly. I think I must have hit it when the ride jolted. Ah, is Saucy cakes hurt? She mocked. Here, let me see. She stood on her tiptoes and parted my hair and poked the bump. Geez, women, that hurts. I growled. Sorry, she replied. Nothing major, but it is a bit big. When we catch up to Hina-chan, what was that? God, not him, I groaned. Rock Lee worked here as a technician and it was his job to bring the rides down here. Apparently, he was now knocking on the window. I sighed and signaled it was okay for him to come in. He opened the latch and bounced in. Hello Sasuke-san, he beamed. And who is this pretty flower? Sakura Herodite, pleased to meet you, Sakura replied primly. She was trying to look pleased, but she was barely concealing disgust. Such a wonderfully youthful name for such a beautiful flower. The power of youth inspires you. Lee was bouncing all over the place. Then he got serious and went down on one knee. Will you date me, the green beast of this amusement park, Sakura-san? Sakura was totally and utterly freaked out at this point. No. There just isn't a spark, you know. Why? The fires of youth rage inside me. Lee cried. Lee, stop freaking her out and get us out of here, I snapped. This is getting annoying. Okay. Lee saluted me and unscrewed a panel on the bottom of the cart. There were a set of grips going down into the core of the Ferris wheel. Lee and I started climbing down the shaft while Sakura followed us. Down into the dark dankness we went. I'm scared. Sakura whimpered. Do not fear. I am here, Lee called. Sakura was probably startled by the loudness of Lee's voice. Sakura, Calm down, it's only Lee. I snapped at her. Not that bug, she shrieked. I slapped my forehead and climbed back up there to where she was. Now you see it, now you don't, I growled and flicked the bug away. Let's go. Thank you, saucy cakes. Sakura smiled and followed me down. Finally we got outside. I was glad. It meant no more Sakura freaking out a bug or a shadow she saw out of tea. He corner of her eyes and no more Lee being impossibly loud. Sakura-san, would you like to accompany me to the competition later this afternoon? Lee asked sickeningly. Thanks. Lee, you have other people to rescue. I pointed to the damaged ride. Don't forget your job or you won't have one. Yes, sir. Lee saluted me and ran off. As soon as he was gone, I grabbed Sakura's hand and ran. When I judged we were far enough, I let go of her hand. What did you do that for? She asked me, irritated. Did you really want to be stuck there with Lee? I retorted. No, but she trailed off, not able to find a comeback. Then don't snap. Besides, you need to get a bathing suit, don't you? I sighed at her naivety. All right. She sighed and immediately perked up. Let's go. She dragged me into the nearest clothing store where she stopped abruptly. Ow, women, what are you doing? I peeked around and saw Hinata there, with Naruto, 2 other boys I knew as Shino and Kiba, and 2 other girls. Change point of view to Shikamaru. Why does Kami-sama hate me? I am stuck on a ride that goes in 3 different directions at once and had the most annoying girl in the whole world screaming in my ear. She may be pretty, but this is the 25th time we've been on this stupid ride. Damn Tamari-chan for forcing onto it over and over again. I want to barf. Did you guys have fun? Tamari asked as she swung open the door of our cart. No, I answered as I tried to focus on one thing. The world was spinning around me confusingly. Yep, it was fun, Ino exclaimed, bouncing on her heels. But I won't go on anymore. I wonder if there are some other good rides around here. Why'd you stop now? I asked. She was obsessed with that ride, but she stops now. It doesn't make sense. The girls made me put a limit on how many times I would ride a ride and it was 25. They'll know if I rode it anymore. She pouted slightly as she said this but then instantly brightened. Let's go. Hold on, Ino-chan. I have a better idea, Tamari grinned. What is it? She asked curiously. Every few months, this place has a beach competition and Naruto always forces the other guys to take part in it. Shika-kun always does the running section because I usually chase him down the path, but this time, I won't be able to. Tamari explained. Why? Ino butted in. Because I'm participating with my new boyfriend, Shino. This year, she grinned. Anyways, can you do me a favor and chase Shika down the track this time? Sure. I love running. Ino responded happily. Oh god, kill me now. Great. Let's go then. Tamari clapped her hands happily. What? Ino looked confused. She means that since you're competing and the competition is on a beach, you'll need a bathing suit, which I doubt you'll have. I interrupted lazily. Well, excuse me, Mr. Know-it-all, Ino huffed at me. At least I'll look good in a swimsuit. I wouldn't bet on that, I muttered. What did you say? Ino drawled out, looking at me dangerously. I wasn't the one looking at your fly. I replied quickly. Ino flushed a bright red. Shut up. You were staring at his fly, Ino-chan. Tamari burst into giggles. Don't we have a bathing suit to buy? She snapped at the 2 of us, bright red. Sure, Tamari giggled. Let's go to make a splash, it's supposed to be pretty good. It's over there. She pointed towards the water section of the plaza. Great, let's go. And for the second time in a day, those 2 girls had me by the ears and off. Again. Hey look, there's my little brother's girlfriend. She squealed, and pulled me right into the store, Ino lagging behind us and pulling my ear in the other direction. Wait, Tamari-chan, even if I don't know these people, the scene doesn't look good. Ino whispered and she pointed to the center of the store, both of them forgetting to let go of my ears. Change point of view to Neji. Can we go on again? Tenten asked hyperly. No, I responded bluntly. Please, she asked again. No, get the hint already. Pretty please, now with the puppy dog eyes. No, I responded firmly and hinted over my shoulder at the hordes of angry fangirls. Oh, she mouthed in understanding. Her eyes widened. Run. She screeched and started pulling me along at top speed. Get her! The fangirls roared as we ducked through the plaza. We stumbled on and knocked over a lot of people while we were running. Luckily, Tenten was fast enough to keep up with me. Unfortunately, those girls were running like the devil was after them as well, and were slowly gaining on us. In here, I hissed at her and pulled her into a random store. She sighed in relief as we saw the crowd run past the display window. I thought we'd never get away from them, she breathed. Come on, let's look for another way out. We turned around to find another way to leave, when Tenten just realized what store we were in. Oh shish kebab, she breathed, and silently, I agreed with her. We were in a bathing suit store. A women's bathing suit store. Damn, the sooner we get out of here the better. Hurry up, I said sensibly, pulling the incredibly pale girl through the store with me. Avoiding thinking about what types of clothing were hanging around me. Suddenly, she instantly perked up and ran. I had no choice but to follow her as she ran towards the change rooms. Hinata-chan, she called as she stopped abruptly. I looked around her impassively and saw Naruto, Kiba, Shino, Kai, Natsu and Hinata looking at us weirdly. Change point of view to Naruto. Wait, Hinata, I called after her. She had just run out on me, looking extremely upset. Go after her, you baka. Ayame hissed. But, why, I started, but she interrupted. She obviously likes you, so she was hurt when you started to flirt with me. Duh. Ayame whacked me over the head painfully, but I barely even noticed. Yeah, kid, you screwed up big time. Shut up, Kyuubi baka. Faye, whatever. Being in your family makes me wonder what Athena had against me. Stupid Kyuubi, stupid magical persona that I've had in me forever. Kyuubi is a nine-tailed fox that apparently was a hunting mate of Athena. Somehow or another ended up in my ancestors, and he's been passed from generation to generation. It's useful though, he gives me powers of all kinds and helps me heal faster. Hurry and go after her. Ayame screeched and I ran off, scared of what she would do if I didn't. Now, if I were Hinata-chan, where would I be? Maybe she'd be at the rides. Maybe she actually wanted to go on the water rides. Oh shoot, I thought she just wanted to matchmake her friends so they could get boyfriends and I was the only one left over. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. Idiot Naruto. Watch where you're going, oh Naruto. It's only you. I looked down. Oops. Looking down, I was faced with Nekoni Natsuko, or Natsu for short, and her sister Nekoni Kaijuana, or just Kai. Sorry Natsu-chan, just I'm worried. I trailed off as worry consumed me. What if Hinata-chan was really hurt? About a girl, Kai grinned. She was a shy girl but very sweet. She had long black hair that covered one eye, her eyes were liquid blue. She was a straight-A student and skipped a grade into our class, and my buddy Gaara, who also skipped a grade,'s girlfriend. Great girl, pretty weak though, the only sport she does is swimming. With long black hair, glasses, black eyes and likes to stutter. Natsu added. Natsu was almost the exact opposite of her sister. She had short layered brown hair and blue eyes, the only thing she shares with her sister. She was hyper and a bit crude at times, but she was fun to hang around. She, unlike her sister, can pack a punch, but she, unlike her sister, isn't really a straight-A student, far from it. Perfect match for Kiba, another friend of mine, of who she was dating. Yeah, do you know her? I asked anxiously. Kiba and Shino-kun took her shopping, there at Make a Splash. Kai shrugged. How do you know? Natsu asked, bemused. Gaara came by earlier, wanted me to know, and you too, so you didn't strangle Kiba when you found out he was with another girl. Kai responded. Oh, I would have strangled him if he hadn't. That girl seems nice and she seemed like she needs some friends. Natsu shrugged it off. Thanks guys. Bye. I yelled and was about to leave them when I felt a grip on my collar. Hold it Naruto, we need to ask you a few questions, Natsu said. Like why was that poor girl near to tears when she mentioned your name, as Gaara told me, Kai added. I have no clue, I was just flirting with Ayame and. What? I looked up at the two girls who were holding me by the collar. No wonder, Natsu exclaimed. What? This is confusing. Arg, stupid idiotic boys. Come on, Let's take him to her to apologize. Kai glared at me and they dragged me to a store where I noticed some scantily dressed women in bathing suits. Hee-ba, Natsu hollered. Ow, Natsu. Too loud. Hiba roared as he stepped out of one of the sections of the store. Yeesh, we found him, Natsu snapped back. Oh, I see, Hiba's demeanor changed. He loomed over me threateningly as he asked, what did you do to Hinata-chan? I didn't do anything. Why was everybody treating me like a common criminal today? He flirted with Ayame-chan in front of her. Kai interrupted me darkly. You what? Hiba exclaimed looking outraged. Ayame-chan and I do it all the time. It's no big deal and Ayame-chan knows I didn't mean it. I shot back at him. But Hinata-chan didn't know that. And you hurt her. Hiba responded. How do you know? You barely even know her and you have a girlfriend already. I screamed back. Why you? Hiba lunged at me but Natsu held him back. What's happening? A shy timid voice came from the change room. Hinata-chan. I turned around and looked at Tenten, who had popped out of nowhere and was staring at us curiously. Neji was looking at us too and I could see the hint of curiosity on his face. Hi Tenten-chan. I don't know what's happening, either. Hinata smiled at her friend. Ah well, I believe introductions are in order. Ino came out, dragging a disgruntled Shikamaru by the ear and Tamari hanging onto his other ear. Fine, but Ino-chan, Tamari-chan, you should let go of his ear. I winced at the painful sight. Yeah, poor Shikamaru. Sakura, who appeared out of one of the other racks. Where did all these people come from? Hiba asked confused. The doors, Sasuke replied simply, hinting to the 3 doors that allowed entry to the shop. Ooh, Hiba mouthed as Natsu whacked him over the head. Ow, what did you do that for? Honestly, I wonder why I love you sometimes, she sighed. Hey there, I'm Nekoni Natsuko. But call me Natsu. That bonehead over there is Kiba, my boyfriend, and she's my sister. Natsu beeped her thumb over to Kai, Nekoni Kaijuana. Not my full name, please. It's Kai, she groaned, crossing her arms defensively. What's going on here? Gaara had come back and he looked confused. Hi Kai Koi. Hi Gaara-kun. She smiled shyly at him as He strolled around her and put his arms around her waist protectively. Ah, baby brother, you learned some compassion. Tamari squealed. Gaara, no killing. Kai tapped his arm that had tightened around her. He was glaring at his sister menacingly. He's changed. A month ago, Tamari wouldn't even call him baby brother. I whispered to Kiba. Yep, it's cute. Kiba whispered back. So let me get this straight, Ino said slowly. That's Natsu, Kai, Kiba, Tamari, Gaara and he's. She pointed at Shino questioningly. That's Shino, my boyfriend. Tamari grinned. So he's the boyfriend you've been telling me about? Ino exclaimed. Yup. She laughed as she went over and hugged her silent boyfriend. Anyways, I'm Ino, that's Sakura, Hinata I think you all know, and that's Tenten. She smiled pointing to each of the girls in turn. Nice to meet you all, now I think we have business. Tamari exclaimed. Hold on Sabukano, these girls don't know what you're talking about, Ino exclaimed. Holding Tamari back and talking about her friends. Oh, right, the competition, she exclaimed. A look of understanding dawned on all the girls but Hinata's face. I winced. I'm gonna be in for it now. Hold it, Sabukano, Tenten exclaimed. You wouldn't happen to be related to that jerk who I kicked in the balls, would you? Jerk who you kicked in the balls? He wouldn't have been wearing makeup. Calling it kabuki paint, now would he? Tamari grinned. Yeah, Tenten winced. That would be our brother, Gaara agreed. Oops, Tenten trailed off. Don't worry about it, he's annoying anyways. Tamari snorted, he had it coming to him. Don't worry about it, Tenten-san, none of us like him very much, Natsu reassured her. He had the nerve to call Natsu-chan a bitch. Kiba growled. Anyo, I hate to break this you up, but what is the C competition? Hinata asked shyly. Shoot, this is it. You didn't tell her about the competition. Kai exploded, shocking everyone. I got scared. If Tenten, Sakura and Ino knew what happened. First you don't take her on the ride she wants to go on, which you misleadingly dragged her away for, then you flirt with another girl in her face. Then you send her crying and now you forget to tell her about the festival. Kai started but stopped this time, because Ino, Sakura, and Tenten had me pinned down by weapon point. You didn't take her to the water park, like you promised. Tenten growled menacingly, kunai jabbed right above my head and another 10 tickling my chin. Yes, sweat was pouring off me in waves. I could feel the cold aura rolling off them. You flirted with another girl in front of her. Ino spat out threateningly, steel ribbons wrapped around my neck to be tightened any second. Yes, Kyubi helped me. You forgot to tell her about the competition. Sakura asked terrifyingly low, her sword positioned so it was hovering above my nose. Yes, I squeaked, hanging on for dear life. You made her cry. All three of them screamed at me. On accident. I swear, I saw my life flashing before my eyes but luckily, godsend, Hinata interrupted me. Gee guys, you see can stop, Hinata mumbled. Thank you, Hinata. But, Ino protested. Now, she added firmly. Fine, grumbling the three girls got off me ticked off, though they still shot death glares at me regularly. Now, are we going shopping or what? Hinata smiled and pulled her friends into the racks. Be glad she got the girls off you, Naruto, they looked like they meant business. Neji said seriously. Don't worry, right now. I'm glad I'm alive. I breathed happily. Sweet air, I can breathe again. I wonder why Hinata-chan was so upset though. Change point of view to Hinata. I sighed as I looked at some of the swimsuits the girls had forced me into. Tamari-chan had wanted me to get a scanty black bikini, but the Tenten said no outright. She hated shopping and was protesting. G heavily as we pushed a few suits onto her. You alright Hinata? I felt Tenten speak from the corner of my mind. Fine, don't worry, I replied reassuringly. Really? Because if you're not, we can always beat him up. Ino's voice came echoing through. Really? Guys, I grinned. That was my friends for you. Anyone hurts me and they'll be long for blood. Of course I do too, if anyone does hurt any of my friends. What Naruto did hurt. But boys will be boys. Lay off her, Sakura exclaimed, and Hina-chan, you had better change your body a lot. Listen to Sakura, or she'll rip you apart. Ino joked. Alright, just let me change. I responded. Okay. The three of them chorused and I started changing. To respect the character's privacy, we will skip this part or the E4 will have our heads, to quote Ino, Sakura and Tenten. And a warning. Don't read the next part unless you don't get nosebleeds easily. Ready girls? Tamari grinned. This'll be fun. Kai smiled. Why? Oh why do you feel like torturing me? Tenten groaned. Because we feel like it, now let's go. Ino grinned. No, Tenten exclaimed. Oh relax, Tenten-chan, you're next to last anyways. Sakura sighed. Go Tamari-chan. Natsu grinned. She swung the door open and Tamari strutted out of the change rooms. Well boys, you're in for a treat. The ladies would love your opinion on the bathing suits, so they're going to come out and show you. Tamari laughed at the guy's wide-eyed expressions as she leaned onto her boyfriend. We're starting off the show with Natsu. We all giggled inside the fitting room as Natsu sauntered out of the room. Flipping her hair, Natsu was wearing a leopard print bikini top and black jeans cut off at the knee. I think she blew a beep at her boyfriend and went to stand at the side. Kiba K-kun's G got a lot of B blood. I giggled quietly at the dog lover who was ogling his girlfriend. Kai skipped out, wearing a black and white marble pattern top and matching mini skirt. She struck a pose, waved at the guys when the slightest trickle of blood ran down Gaara's face. Giggling, she tossed him a tissue and stood to the side with her sister. Ino strolled lazily out the fitting room. Grinning, she wore a light purple bikini top with a almost see-through white skirt that went down to her knees. She winked at the guys in the crowd, wiggled her finge. RS and stood off to the side with the others. Where's Shikamaru-san? Tenten asked me. He's hiding. I pointed to the spiky ponytail protruding from the guys. Ha, Sakura laughed. Sakura hopped out of the change room. Licking her lips. Her outfit was a pink top and a pair of beige capris. She just winked at the guys and hopped off to the other girls, where Ino high-fived her. Suk had his face turned away determinedly, with the slightest blush on his face. Sasuke-san's embarrassed. Tenten laughed. Tenten. Looking at the horrified expression on my friend's face, I pushed her out. She stumbled and fell flat on her face, to the amusement of almost everyone there. Neji, however, was trying to look uninterested, but you could see a trickle of blood flowing down his face. She scowled, brushed her dark green top and her black pants off and stalked to the sidelines where the girls were laughing. And Hinata. Oh shoot. I crept outside embarrassedly, feeling especially self-conscious in my skimpy light blue bikini top and long white skirt. I could feel everyone staring at me, so I blushed and looked down at my feet, then ran towards the girls. Sorry, guys, it's just Hina-chan's really shy. Sakura called to the shocked crowd. Anyways, let's change so we can get onto the beach and have fun with the contest. Ino said, bouncing up and down. As I followed girls back to the changing rooms though, I was held back like a blushing Naruto. Hinata-chan. Sorry about what happened at the ramen stand. He apologized shyly. It's okay, Naruto, but why you have to tell me about the sea competition they're all talking about? I smiled at him. Oh, that's a lot of fun. See, we form teams of 8 and then split it up into pairs. One pair does brain challenge, another does the DDR competition. Another does running and the last one does swimming. The guys and I always do this together. Sasuke does the brain challenge, Neji DDRs, Shikamaru runs and I swim. Naruto explained the whole thing to me in one breath. Swimming. See, can I be your partner? I love swimming and anything to do with the water. Sure, actually, I was hoping you'd ask, because I need a partner. He scratched his head sheepishly. Alright, see you in a few minutes. I smiled at him and made my way to the change room, changing back into my comfortable everyday clothes. We paid for our purchases and left. At the beach, Sakura was filling out the application forms. Let's see. Saucy Cakes and I are doing the brain challenge. Neji-san and Tenten-chan are doing the dance revolution part. Naruto-kun and Hina-chan are swimming, and Ino-pig and Shikamaru-san are running. She asked to clarify what she had written down. Yep. Naruto smiled and bounced around. I laughed. Ow. I have a headache. I see green. Hinata-chan. Sakura was stooped over me concerned. Hinata-chan. Are you alright? Ino and Tenten were at my side instantly. Yeah. Just saw a bit of green. I looked at them significantly. No way. Envy here. Sakura exclaimed in my head. Yes, unfortunately. See, all of the E4 have a sensing power. I can sense one of the 7 sins are foreboding. Sakura can sense danger. Ino can sense intention, and Tenten can sense lies. This was serious though. I passed out by the pure strength of the sin. It was going to be stronger than we normally ran into. Let's just go with the flow until envy reveals itself. If we do anything now it'll be suspicious. Tenten advised. Alright, but be on watch, Sakura warned. Aren't we always? Ino quipped. Girls, let's go, Sasuke called. The guys were far ahead of us, already changed and onto the beach. We girls rushed into the change room and got into our swimsuits. We finally met the guys outside, to their annoyance. That took too long. Troublesome women. Shikamaru grumbled. Shikamaru. Ino drew out his voice dangerously. Attention competitors. The brain challenge is about to begin. Please make your way to the shoreline. A loud voice blared over the speakers. That's our cue. Come on, Saucy Cakes. She pulled him to the shoreline where a floating maze stood. Basically, the contestants have to get through the maze and answer a question at each turn. Your goal is to get through there as fast as possible. Naruto explained to me. We watched as Sakura and Sasuke swam through the maze at a fast speed. Every time they came to a corner, they'd stop for a second, answer the question and move on. Hey, isn't that Temari-chan and Shino-san? Ino pointed to a couple who were king their way through the maze at a much slower pace than Sakura and Sasuke, but were far ahead of everyone else. Yeah, that is. They usually come first because Sasuke's used to always be paired with an annoying fangirl. So they'd never get through, Naruto responded. Sakura-chan and Sasuke-san are at the last turn. I squealed. They stopped at the opening for longer than they usually would, but then, finally, the gates swung open and they won. They did it. Ino jumped up and clapped excitedly. I laughed at my friend's antics and leaned back to enjoy the view. The beach was covered with white sand and blue water, and the bright sun from outside the glass dome shone. Even though it was fall, the dome was nice and warm. The white beach was dotted with palm trees and brightly colored umbrellas, and it was beautiful. Herodite Sakura and Uchiha Sasuke have won the challenge. Would the DDR competitors make their way to the station, please? The announcer's loud voice blared out the speakers once more. Yay, DDR. Tenten laughed as she pulled a reluctant Neji down to the place that was highlighted by torches. Come on. Naruto pulled me up and took me to the stations. We ske. Easy our way through the crowd and watched as Tenten got set up for her match. Ready and go. The ref cried as the game started. Tenten leapt into action and started moving. Hey look, it's Natsu. Indeed, it was her dancing away on the station. They were both dancing to Butterfly, a song that Tenten knew well. I hummed a little as the lyrics took over. I don't own these lyrics. I, where's my samurai? I'm your little butterfly. Green, black and blue. Make the colors in the sky. I'm your little butterfly. Green, black and blue. Make the colors in the sky. Where's my samurai? Where's my samurai? I've been searching for a man. All across Japan. Just to find my samurai. Someone who is strong, but still a little shy. Yes, I need my samurai. I'm your little butterfly. Green, black and blue. Make the colors in the sky. I'm your little butterfly. Green, black and blue. Make the colors in the sky. Where's my samurai? Where's my samurai? I've been searching in the woods and high upon the hills, just to find my samurai. Someone who won't regret to keep me in his net. Yes, I need my samurai. I'm your little butterfly. Green, black and blue. Make the colors in the sky. I'm your little butterfly. Green, black and blue. Make the colors in the sky. Tenten finished the song in a pose and laughing. The scores came up. Tenten had beaten Natsu by 1 step. Good dance. Tenten laughed, breathless. She and Natsu hugged and stepped back as Akiba and Neji took the stage. Blonde girl turned on. This was so girly. I giggled as I saw a disgruntled Neji start on the first step. He was good. He and Kiba were both doing flips and whatnot, and neither missed a step until Kiba missed one at the very end. Are these lyrics? Baby tonight, you surfed into my sight. Sweet lover, oh my, you are the king of the night. Web lover, I know what you need it. I do what you wanna, princess. I know feel my heartbeat. Beaten just for you, to be your blonde girl. Webby girl, and with me this love be forever your. A cha-cha lovely girl. Virtual hoochie girl, life will be so crazy. Play the game, I'm ready. Be your blonde girl. WWW girl. Cybernetic love in a cyber world. To feel it everywhere. In the air. Chicky hot blonde girl. To be your blonde girl. Webby girl. And with me this love be forever your. A cha-cha lovely girl. Virtual hoochie girl. Life will be so crazy. Play the game, I'm ready. Be your blonde girl. WWW girl. Cybernetic love in a cyber world. To feel it everywhere. In the air. Chicky hot blonde girl. The scores showed that Neji had won. It was close, though. Now we just waited until the judges totaled the scores of the partners to find the winners of the competition. Attention all competitors. The winners of the Dance Revolution contest have been decided. The winners are... Hyuga Neji and Dimaphone Tenten. The speakers screamed. Tenten and I cheered happily. Will all swimmers please go down to the docks and be ready to swim? Thank you. Let's go Hinata-chan. Naruto pulled me to the beach. I pulled off my overskirt and threw it to Tenten. Not so fast, Naruto-kun. I giggled. Yay, we're in the water again. Alright, gather around. One of the organizers motioned for us to get close. This is a relay, pretty much. One partner needs to swim to the marker and back, and then the other person must dive off. Both partners need to finish at least 1 lap. We all nodded and lined up on the huge dock. Naruto was going first and I was going to finish. Ready, set, Go. Naruto pushed off with the other swimmers. ND soon gained a pretty good advantage over the others. There was one red head that came pretty close to him, and by the hyper girl calling, "Go Gaara." Next to me, it was probably Gaara. Naruto hit T. He marker and came closer and closer to the dock. I got ready, my body just waiting to jump. As soon as he reached the dock, I jumped. Bliss. It was pure bliss to be back in the water, just swimming as hard as I could through the crashing waves. I touched the marker and started doubling back again. The waves just cut for me to walk through, the advantages of being a water demigoddess. Finally I hit the dock and was pulled up by a pair of strong arms. "DD did WWW win?" I asked through chattering teeth. "Yep," Naruto exclaimed and hugged me. It felt nice as I was freezing and he was warm. "Ow, envy's overwhelming. Come on," he murmured softly and he wrapped a towel around me gently as we headed back towards our friends. "My head still hurts, though." "Come on Shikamaru," Ino whined. "No," he responded. "Shikamaru," Ino drawled out. She was cut off by a large shriek. Our eyes widened. A huge green dog was attacking the faculty. The girls' eyes met and we all thought the same thing. Envy. "Run." Naruto grabbed my arm and pushed me towards the exit. The girls and I ran towards one of the exits where it was deserted and started to chant. "By the powers the immortals have given, by good intent we are driven. Hera, Aphrodite, Amphitrite, Athena, Iris, Artemis, Demeter, Persephone, the elemental four beg of change." The familiar feeling of being washy and soothed by the ocean came as we all vanished in our respective lights. A blinding blue light peeled away my facade, gentle as a stream. When I opened my eyes again, I was no longer Hinata, but Naiad, a water demi-goddess. "Let's go." Phoenix, Sakura, barked and we lifted off. All our forms had some kind of wings. I had pale blue butterflies, Phoenix had phoenix wings, Gaia, Tenten, had eagle wings with leaves instead of feathers. And Halcyon, Ino, had angel wings. Ha ha ha. 4 puny mortals who just grew wings challenge me, the great Odysseus. The great big dog barked. "You're nothing like your namesake," Gaia scoffed. One big overgrown puce-colored puppy challenges us, the E4. Halcyon mocked him. "Silence," he bellowed. "All right, let's fight." Phoenix snapped her swords out of their holders. Her medieval-styled gown that had flames crowding around the skirt and the sleeves flared as she positioned her attack. "Fire cross," she yelled as the blade of her 2 swords burned. Eden shot a fiery X at the dude and hit him square in the eye. Poison mist. I raised my hand and pointed it at him as he roared in fury. My long off-shoulder top dress rippled slightly as I launched the attack. A purple mist formed around him and burned him so he wouldn't stop howling. "Windy death," Halcyon exclaimed and she directed the winds whistling fast towards the dog, bowing away my mi. Saint and cutting him in 1,000 different places. Her off-shoulder top was covered by the Seatho silk which rippled against her winds, inexplicably. Cutting leaves. Gaia cried as a lot of leaves appeared out of nowhere and attacked the dog. It hit his heart and with one final howl, he disappeared. She smoothed her dark green pants and her pink off-shoulder top down. As she moved, the darker pink sash clinked, as it was full of invisible weapons. Well, that was a waste of time. That dog was a minor and no challenge at all. Halcyon quipped as we descended on one of the broken supports. The place was a mess. The dog might have been weak, but he knocked over many of the cement supports. This place would be a mess for a while yet. "No, it wasn't," I replied softly. "We know that the enemy has come, they're here. And they're on the move." My words rested heavily on the girls, as a stiff air fell upon us. "Nighty-night." Ino's point of view. I quietly padded out of my room, trying not to wake the other girls. We had returned home pretty safely but really uneasily. We pretended we had been hiding in on of the exits till the coast was clear, then had the guys escort us back through the empty plaza to our scooters. As we left the mall, all the girls were subdued, more than normal. We barely said anything, all the way through dinner and we went to sleep early. Even I barely even said anything, me. The crowned loud mouth of the group. Though forehead girl came close. The whole event had been shell-shocking. We'd never before actually encountered one of the original sins, but to know it was so close it It could send one of its larger minions to cause havoc. It was disturbing. We'd been fighting all our lives for this, but now, I was beginning to have second thoughts. I guess my worry was so much that I actually was in my goddess form. You can't sleep either, Ino. I was startled out of my thoughts by Tenten's voice. She was sweaty and in her demi-goddess form. Yeah, what happened today was shell-shocking, I responded. I've been trying to figure it out as well, Tenten sighed. She and I plopped down on beanbags in our family room. It was where my wandering had led me. By beating all the fluff out of our brand new punch bags. I teased her. That's how I think. She shot back. Besides, isn't that what punch bags are for? Tenten got a point there. A new voice came to the conversation. Sakura was standing on the little step that led to the living room. She was wearing her pink pajamas but she didn't look sleepy. It was Aloes worried enough and in her demi-goddess form. I couldn't sleep either. Today was disturbing. Why yes it was. Hinata appeared just behind Sakura, wearing a blue nightgown and looking like Naiad. To think, what we've worked all our lives for has come. I sighed. And don't forget all the lives before that. All those, millions of years, Sakura laughed, referring to our past lives that none of us but her remembered. I wonder what'll happen after that. Tenten wondered. Let's not dwell on it, okay? Hinata smiled weakly. She hugged her legs tightly, trying to get comfortable. Hinata's got a point. This is big. We need to plan our next move, Sakura said seriously. That dog today was weak, but it's a definite sign that envy's near, Hinata confirmed. How do you know? Hinata and Sakura are the only ones that actually remember these kinds of things. Ino, did you forget what all those scrolls told us? Tenten sighed. At my clueless look, Hinata recited what we learned, or should have learned. Years ago, every sin is connected with an animal and a color. If you see an animal with that color that can do damage, it must be destroyed. A green dog is an envy minion. A violet horse is a pride minion. A red bear is an anger minion. A light blue goat is a sloth minion. A yellow frog is a greed minion. An orange pig is a gluttony minion. And a blue cow is a lust minion. If this minion is corporeal, can cause some damage, you know that the master is near, Hinata finished. I blinked. Okay, now what? Keep fighting these monsters until we get to the poor person that envy possessed. Tenten responded. Tenten, that's so primitive, Sakura exclaimed. Well, what else do you say we do? She shot back. Tenten has a point, Hinata interjected. But, fine, Sakura sighed. Anyways, we don't have too much to do until envy shows herself, I yawned. Yes we do, we need to train more. Sakura exclaimed. It took all of our combined strengths to get rid of that stupid minion. When we should have been able to destroy it with just one blast. Alright, but not tonight. Tenten's the only one who'd train so obsessively like that. I grinned as I ducked a pillow thrown by her. Shut up Ino. She stuck her tongue out at me. Hey guys, do you remember a union between the Greek gods and the Egyptian gods? Hinata asked all of a sudden. Yeah, there was one, an illegitimate child, between Alcyone and Jeb I think, I replied thoughtfully. Do you mind checking it out, Ino? Hinata asked me. I shrugged. Sure, why not? Concentrating my energy on Aeolus' cave. I left the room in a blur. Aeolus, I cried, where are you? Halcyon. I turned around and hugged a red-bearded man that came out. Aeolus, there you are. It's nice to see you again, my dear. Quote, do you have a few minutes? Always, for my favorite guardian. He led me to his receiving place and poured me a cup of ambrosia. So, what brings you here? Just wondering about a few things. I took a sip of ambrosia. It was heavenly. I love this drink. They don't have anything like it on Earth. You know it's too strong to give to humans. Aeolus laughed at my pouty expression. Quote. I pouted. Anyways, I came here to ask about Alcyone's illegitimate child with Jeb. Aeolus contemplated what I had asked. Well, I had sent Alcyone as an envoy a while ago to discuss the problems of wind treaties, where Shu could blow his winds and where I could blow mine. When she got back, well, we found she was pregnant with a child, thanks to Artemis. It was a mix between religions, so we couldn't keep it with us in the pantheon. She was sent to a place where her powers could be passed off as normal. Where? I asked, intrigued. Japan, with the ninjas. He responded. The god blood continued in her descendants, so they called it a bloodline limit, or a kekai genkai. Ah, I see. I brooded over the cup of ambrosia. As a matter of fact, all the cross religions were dumped in Japan at that time. I do believe Horus and a dryad had a child dumped there as well, an Aphrodite and Seth. Aeolus added. Okay, so is I. T possible that one of her descendants still lives. Oh yeah, we never keep tabs on the crosses. It's very possible that she has descendants living, but the magic from old Japan have habits of lying low, so we wouldn't know. Aeolus shrugged. So you don't know the family name? Nope. Sorry, Halcyon, all I know is that her name was Suchi. Earth. Well, it's been fun, but I have to go. Bye. I picked up my cup and vanished with a wave. Ow. Tenten roared from underneath me. I had teleported right on top of her. What did you find out? Hinata asked as I got off of Tenten. Yes, there was a illegitimate child. Her name was Suchi and apparently, she was dumped off her in Japan, because the child was illegal, a cross. Aeolus couldn't tell me anything else. I sighed. Why do you want to know, Hinata? Because I have a hunch that the Sabukano family is very old. They could very possibly be of god descent. She replied thoughtfully. Gaara seemed to radiate power, so it doesn't even have to be Suchi's line, it could very well be one of the others. There was Horus and a dryad, and Seth and Aphrodite. I trailed off, not sure what to make of this. Let's worry about that some other time. Right now, I want to know what Naruto did to you. Tenten, Sakura and I focused on Hinata, who squirmed. It wasn't anything serious. Alright, alright, alright. Hinata waved her hands in submission. We were out of your sight when Naruto's stomach rumbled. You're lying, Hinata-chan, Tenten cut in with a sing-song voice. Hinata sighed. Well, actually, he thought I just wanted to set you guys up. But when I found that out, I looked disappointed. He took me to a ramen stand to cheer me up. Hinata smiled a bit, but her smile vanished as she continued. When Naruto and I made it to the stand, which actually has pretty good ramen, he started flirting with the ramen girl, Ayame-chan, who was really nice. I couldn't take any more. He'd made it quite obvious that he disliked me. So she handed me a map when I asked for one and I left. I bumped into Kiba-kun, Shino-kun and Gaara-kun and they took me shopping. That's where you guys came in. Why that I'm going to kill Naruto. Sakura raged. Not before I get to him. I growled. No way was that bozo going to get away with hurting Hinata. Just save enough life so I can stick him like a pin cushion, Tenten growled. Guys, Hinata exclaimed. Don't hurt Naruto-kun. Because you love him? I asked slyly. Well, yeah, I do. Sort of. Hinata looked down at her fingers. Ah, alrighty. We won't kill him, but he had better have apologized, Tenten grinned. He did, Hinata smiled. Okay. Now, Sakura, what did you do with Sasuke-kun in the Ferris wheel? I grinned mischievously. We didn't do anything. Sakura protested. The ride broke down and I was thrown on top of him and then Lee came to save us and we were climbing down that shaft for hours and Sasuke was nice enough to flick away one of the bugs that freaked me out. I swear, nothing happened. She was blushing bright red after this. Reet. I snickered at her obvious discomfort. What happened between you and Shikamaru-san? She retorted. Nothing. Tamari and I just dragged him into the zipper, which is totally awesome. He was looking pretty bad after the 25th turn. I snickered again when I remembered the expression on his face. You stuck to your limit, didn't you? Tenten asked. Yep, you. I grinned. Knowing Tenten, she probably didn't. I do NK I would have dragged Neji-kun once more, but those stupid fangirls just had to interrupt, she pouted slightly. I sighed. Tenten's a really down-to-earth girl, until you mention a roller coaster. Then, get out of her way. You know how Tsunade Shisho said we should train our magic. Sakura was looking thoughtful. We waited for her answer. How about we reveal ourselves to 4 mortals and we have to help them, Sakura explained. No offense Sakura, that's lame, Tenten sighed. What your genius idea? Sakura shot back. Good old-fashioned way, Tenten snorted, as if it was obvious. But this'll be fun, I interjected. We are demi-goddesses, aren't we? We are supposed to be helping mankind, Hinata pointed out. Fine, but if only Hinata's target is Naruto. Tenten grinned. Okay, so long as Sakura gets Sasuke. Hinata grinned. If Ino pigged as Shikamaru, fine. Sakura shot me a devious look. Alright, but Tenten has to do Neji-san. If we all had the others decide our people for us, I might as well have some fun. Alright, I give up. Tenten laughed. We all focused our energy and teleported towards our targets. Change scene. Nara family rooftop. I materialized on a cloud calmly, looking for my target. Aha, I whispered. There, lying on the rooftop was Shikamaru, just zoning out and looking at the clouds. He looked peaceful for a second. And kinda cute. Lazily, I started playing with clouds. Twirl them here, twist them there. You have a flower. Now what did a dragon look like? You, up there, who are you? Heavens to Artemis, he managed to sound lazy even when he was demanding something. The name's Halcyon, I responded in a drawl. Two can play at that game. What's your bloodline? He asked. Nada, I called back. You don't have one, he asked with a raised eyebrow. Let's just say I'm special. I smirked. I gently alighted right beside him on the rooftops. Who are you and what's your bloodline? I asked him. Faye, troublesome. The name's Shikamaru Nara and no bloodline either, he yawned. Liar. I sung happily while still drawing shapes in the clouds. Liar. Actually, my family are shadow manipulators and deer herders. My dad's into business though, he looked around the surrounding pastures fondly. They were rolling green and dotted with brown deer. It looked just like a scene from those Christianity posters I saw with the stars hanging over the pastures and sheep scattered over it, only there were deer instead. You're right, it's pretty. I smiled softly. I guess the lazy bum I knew had a soft side too. That was all we did, just laid there and watched the stars. It was comfortable but I knew I had to leave soon or Eos and Helios would never let me hear the end of it if they saw me here. Where are you going? Shikamaru asked as I got up. I've gotta go now. Sorry, I smiled at him. This guy was actually genuinely concerned. I could see it in his eyes. I leaned over and pecked him on the cheek and left, feeling oddly light and my head full a certain lazy but caring bum. Change point of view to Sakura. As I vanished away from the girls, the comfortable feel of magic surrounded me once more. Fire was my element, but I was gonna go help someone as cold as ice. Ironic. I'll say. Oh, shove off. Geez, the 1T. Ime, you do something nice and I'm not allowed to watch. I'm insulted. It's not that I've never done a kind thing in my life, but doing one of the good deeds, or something you are not allowed to deal with. So there. Yes, but you're not allowed to advise in anything personal. Fine, how about this? If it comes to anything personal, you can take over the body, but if not, you shut up. Yeesh, alright. I sighed in relief as I felt her back out of my head. Then I realized I had already arrived at my destination. My quarry, Sasuke Uchiha, was lying on the bed and sleeping quite fitfully. He was tangled in the sheets and breathing erratically. Every once in a while he'd moan something like, "Mother, no." Or, "No, why? Father." This was getting kind of scary, so I drifted over to him and I slapped him. He still wouldn't wake up, so I kept slapping him to no avail. Not helping. Just call Hypnose. Fine, Hypnose. Yes, miss. Which one of your dream brood is haunting him? It's not one of my dream brood that caused this. But they certainly are Aries. I'll take a wild guess. Fear. To my astonishment, one of Aries' horses came out of his body. What? Don't look at me that way, the boy reeks of fear and I was hungry. Ah, Mistress Phoenix, please don't tell Aries. I frowned, but I wasn't the type to hold a grudge. Who'd know what Aphrodite'd do if she found out? Fine, Fear, just stay away. Okay, yes, right away, mistress. I could see the horse fade away and Hypnose redraw from my mind. Finally, he's gone. I got a shock when the very boy I was watching awoke. Who's there? He called suddenly. I frowned. Sasuke wasn't supposed to know I was here. He wasn't able to know that fear was real. Calm down. I got a bit of a shock when he looked at me directly. His eyes were blood red and two black commas were whirling around in them. It must be a bloodline, a Kekai Genkai that Ino was talking about. Kaden. Ryuka no Jutsu, flame type, dragon fire technique. He let forth a huge explosion of fire from his mouth. Even I, mistress of the flames, could barely extinguish it. Give up, it's not going to work, I told him. He didn't listen. He kept firing fireballs at me and just kept extinguishing him, so I slapped him again, but instead of retaliating, he fell over in exhaustion. I sighed. Stupid mortals, never knowing what their limits are. Even in sleep he was trying to fight, mumbling, "No Itachi," over and over again. He wasn't going to sleep properly anytime soon. Alrighty, this called for some special measures. Can you see the clouds over the rainbow? Do you know where they go? You are plagued by dreams. Where are they from? What is beyond the rainbow? Where mortals cannot drift? Is it where I belong? I finished singing when I saw, finally, he had gone to sleep. Blowing him a little beep, I left quietly. Change point of view to Hinata. I left the living room quite calmly, but inside, I felt like a typhoon of emotions. For goodness sakes, this was my newest crush. I was going to go help. I envy Sakura-chan, she's got inner Sakura to take over. Splosh! I looked down and saw that I had arrived, on top of a cup of ramen no less. Annoyed, I floated to the bedroom of the small apartment. Inside, I would have expected to see Naruto-kun sleeping peacefully, but instead I saw him curled up in a ball and glaring at me with red cat-like eyes. "Who are you?" he growled. His hands had grown into claws and the whisker marks on his cheeks had grown. He looked like a beast. He even had a tail of pure energy to prove it. He had been possessed by what looked to be a fox. "Calm down. I'm not here to kill you," I cooed to him. Cautiously, I floated closer. "Let me do a mind scan on you," again he demanded. All right, closing my eyes, I allowed him to get into my mind and find out all he could on Naiad. When he finally came out, he looked annoyed. "She's all yours, Squirt." Naruto's face started changing and he reverted back to the one I knew. Minus the claw and everything. "Who are you?" he asked me. "My name is Naiad," I responded. "Down butterflies." "Oh, what's your bloodline?" "Well, I can manipulate water." To show him, I brought a stream of water from the sink and turned into various shapes, a flower, a sphere and a fox. "Oh, pretty," Naruto said in awe. He then yawned, rather loudly. "I wanna go to sleep now." He curled up on the bed and lay there for a few minutes, but it didn't look like he could sleep. I floated over to him and sat on the edge of the bed looking down on him and running my fingers through his messy blonde hair. He was so cute. Eek. Naruto had rolled over and, somehow, flung his arm around me in a rather firm embrace, leaving me trapped. As I tried to wiggle out, he only tightened his grip. "Stay," he mumbled. "You smell like Hinata-chan." I sighed, who could argue with that? With a sigh I cuddled into him, determined to enjoy myself just once. Change point of view to Tenten. "Where, oh where, was that stupid Hyuga?" I growled in frustration as I scanned the estate again, looking for the mute ice block. I bet all the others girls have it a lot easier than me. The Hyuga estate was a fortress. And a magical one at that. I had tried just focusing on him and teleporting to him, but I was stopped halfway by a strong ward and thrown in the other direction. It was only my years of training that helped me land on my feet in a tree. I growled. "Damn wards, I'm just going to call a nymph. Mistress, sweet. Akanda would be able to help me, even as she was prickly." "Akanda, look for a boy with white eyes and long black hair. There are a lot of boys like that. Be more specific." He's got the oddest magical pattern on his forehead. It looks something like this." I sent her a magical pattern which I had seen on Neji's forehead earlier, something I hadn't bothered to mention to the other girls. It was probably his birthmark or something. "Oh, him. Alright, I'll be back in a second." Since Akanda was technically a plant, she could enter the wards without them affecting her. Me on the other hand, I'd have to go through a plant or something or actually remove the wards. "Back. He's out in the back where the wards are the weakest. You owe me big time, boss woman." Fine, I sighed. Sometimes I wonder if Akanda would be better off dating Apollo. I stalked to the edge of the ward where I could see Neji training just through the trees. With a sigh, I blasted my way through the wards and then immediately repaired it so that no one would notice. Almost immediately, I had to catch a kunai flying at me. Who are you and how did you get in? Neji growled menacingly. I blasted through, then had to repair it. I twirled the kunai in my palm absent-mindedly. As for my name, hi am I Su. I winked at him. You are an intruder and you're in my field of divination, he said calmly. He appeared almost beside me. I blanched. Shoot. Field of divination. I hate that style of fighting. The gentle fist's Hakusho Kaiden is one of the most taxing defenses of all time to beat. I've only come face to face with it once, and that was in our old days in the Chinese underground. I've still got the scars. Shoot. I've gotta move before he can strike. Quickly, I flitted away from him and directed some leaves at him. Don't laugh, the leaves are sharp. Yeesh, I'm not here to hurt anyone. I snapped at him. I bet the other girls weren't attacked on sight. He didn't respond but he had to block my leaves with his Kaiden, so I guess he really couldn't say much. Of course, he said mockingly. Again he advanced towards me, trying to hit me. I flew away and led him in a merry chase. Again and again, I'd stop and he'd get so close and almost hit me. Don't get me wrong, I didn't want to hurt this guy, but it wasn't easy since he practically reeked of killer intent. Finally, when we reached a clearing in the dense training grounds, I stopped. In the clearing trying to get him to attack me. That trick is old, I could hear his voice in the trees. You couldn't have found him though, the voice wasn't coming from any direction specifically. It was a good trick. But he was on my playground. All I had to do was concentrate and I could predict where he was going to land and when. And, now, sure enough, he attacked me from the right and landed in the clearing. I teleported away from him and instantly trapped him down with my vines. What? It may be a dirty trick, but I was getting tired. It's been a while since I've fought like this. I've sparred with the girls a lot over the years. I told you, I mean no harm. Geez. I glared at the murderous-looking guy, ticked off. Fate ordained nobody was to enter. He responded. The fates are dead old hags, FYI. I snapped at him. Then why did they allow me to be cursed? He snapped. I was rather taken aback. This couldn't be Neji, Mr. I am the world's muted prodigy. He wasn't this pissed at the world. I think. It's not the fate's fault. Our futures are in our own hands, and I know that for a fact. I snapped back. It wasn't my decision to be labeled with this goddamn seal. He muttered darkly. They were afraid of my power so they decide to give me the strongest seal ever known to mankind and kill my father to boot. You're talkative, I couldn't help but respond. Don't get used to it. He snorted. Whatever you say, I meandered off. An idea struck me. Wanna spar for a bit? I won't use magic, just my weapons and you can do whatever. It'll help you and I need practice. HMPH, fine. I snapped my fingers and let him go. Almost immediately, he easily rubbed his wrists and got himself into the ready position. I readied myself in the forest and made the first move, firing a single kunai at him. From then on we exchanged no words, it was only a dance of weaponry and blood, a dance of death. As we both had trained for a while, I realized I should go. With a simple nod, I teleported out of the wards and back into our house. Hey, Ino waved at me slightly, while Sakura just smiled. I have a feeling Hinata's not coming back this evening, and I'm cooped. See ya. With a flop of my hand, I left the room, completely tired out. The words Neji had said before we had sparred, though, they were nagging me. Worry about them tomorrow, I advised myself. I could feel the other girls decide the same thing and slipped into my covers, my bed more welcome than ever. The project, Shikamaru's point of view, how troublesome. Another troublesome day of school. After what had happened over the weekend, no doubt it was the talk of the class. Everyone was blabbing about the attack on the mall. It had been repaired, but people still wondered who the four girls were. I smiled secretly to myself. I knew one of the girls, but I couldn't tell. She was my halcyon, my secret. Shikamaru. I felt someone poke at my nose. Go away. I flapped my hand. I could tell who it was. It was Ino, that troublesome girl. Shikamaru, be nice. Even now, I could hear the pout in her voice. Shikamaru. Finally I opened my eyes. The sunlight hurt my eyes since they were accustomed to the dark. That tall curly-haired girl was leaning right over me, her curls brushing my face. I turned away a bit to hide my blush at the intimacy. All I had to do was lean forwards and I could beep her. "Ohio Mina-san." We were shocked apart when Naruto came bounding into the room. I breathed a sigh of relief. This was the one time I was actually glad about that idiot came at the time he did. Who knew, I could have actually beeped her. Relationships were troublesome. I took advantage of the interruption to look at my friends. Sasuke looked awake for once. He's always had that half-asleep look on his face, no matter how hard he tried to hide it behind his scowling persona. Naruto also seemed oddly energized, more than usual anyways. Neji. He was brooding in the corner. Seeing him brood was no unusual sight, but seeing brood this early in the morning was crazy. I sighed. Everyone was acting odd this morning. Gomen Mina-san. Hinata had just rushed in. A few minutes after Ino, Sakura and Tenten. I frowned. That was odd. The girls never seemed to go anywhere without each other. I had the oddest dream last night, Hinata-chan. Fair. Why came in my dreams and she showed me some pretty shapes made from water. Naruto started chatting animatedly with his newest confidant. Instead of going red and stuttering like she usually did, she me led and leaned forward as Naruto babbled on. Ino, Sakura and Tenten were listening into their conversation with barely concealed curiosity. "Well, Luki here, you said you weren't interested in Naruto-kun. Faye, why'd we have to have fan clubs?" Naruto's newest fangirl and self-appointed president of his fan club appeared behind Hinata. Sakura was wearing her usual slutty clothes even though it was freezing. That troublesome girl has no common sense. Hello Sakura-san, Hinata replied as calmly as she could. "Why are you around a whore, Naruto-kun?" Sakura simpered, her voice laced with venom. She completely ignored Hinata. I could see Ino, Sakura and Tenten getting ready to pounce. "Yes indeed Sakura-san, why does he hang around you?" A new voice entered. I relaxed. It was Tamari, Kai and Natsu. "Oh, hello Tamari-chan." Sakura's voice changed from underlacing venom to sickening sweetness. "I repeat, what are you doing around Naruto, slut?" Natsu shoved her face into Sakura's. "Nothing you'd like. By the way, how's Mutt boy?" Sakura smirked. "Who'd like to be a complete whore?" Kai retorted, stepping between her sister and Sakura. "And your little Gari Poo, is he not psychotic idiot?" Sakura mocked. Slap. The sound echoed across the classroom. It wasn't any of the new girls or Natsu or Kai. Tamari had hit her, with a look of malicious satisfaction. "I suggest, you don't insult my sister and her friends in my hearing, especially not my girlfriend." Gaara had snuck up on them. Oh boy, was Sakura screwed. "Settle down class," the teacher was behind them. I snuck a peek at the clock. Right, school should have started a while ago. At least it was Tamari and Gaara. Their family practically owned this school, not to mention half the town. The fact that Gaara was a bit odd helped, too. I drifted off to sleep until someone unceremoniously yanked my ear and dragged me towards the rest of the group. "Ouch women," I yelled. "Oh shut up for once." Ino snapped at me. I sighed. Was there anything that this troublesome woman couldn't hurt? What am I here for anyways? I grumbled, rubbing my ear. "You never listen, Shikamaru," Kiba sighed. It's a new P project. We each have to artistically represent a Greek myth," Hinata explained. The groups are S Sasuke-san and N Natsu-san, K Kiba-san and K Kai-san, G Gaara-san and S Sakura-chan, S Shikamaru-kun and T Tamari-san. Ino-chan and S Shino-san, N Neji-san and T Tenten-chan and N Naruto-K-kun and I. Hinata couldn't help blushing at the last pair. "But I want Ki-kun." Natsu whined. "Swap you, Kai." "Hey, I want my boyfriend as well, you big fat feline." Kai stuck her tongue out at her sister. "How about you two go with your boyfriends and I'll go with Sasuke?" Sakura intervened to forestall the inevitable clash of the siblings. "Don't I get a say in this?" Sasuke raised a brow. "I prefer my girlfriend, Uchiha." "You can always go with one of them." Gaara inclined his head at the many hopeful fangirls. Mentally, I laughed. There was no way Uchiha would go with one of them. Besides, Sakura was good enough to get something done, unlike them. "Shikamaru," Ino screamed in my face. Her breath smelled of marshmallows, putting in cherry tomatoes. Troublesome women. Come on. Let's get a move on the project. Wait a sec, wasn't I with Tamari? I'm partnered with Tamari, though. I raised an eyebrow at her. Yeah, but she wanted to be paired with her boyfriend, Ino shrugged. Faye, troublesome women. I'd rather be with her, I grumbled. Ino was silent for a moment. Is being with me that bad? She half whispered. She sounded vulnerable for once. I stopped. This was Ino. Wow, who knew I had this effect on her? No, actually, just unusual. Old her rather lopsidedly while holding her hand in reassurance. She immediately brightened up after this and we sat around a desk, talking about our skit. I didn't notice, though for the whole time, I was clutching her hand. Change point of view to Hinata. Why, I swear, the gods hate me. I have Naruto for my partner. It's not bad, but I don't want to make a fool of myself. We're already way too intimate. He used me as a teddy bear last night. He what? Sakura, Tenten and Ino screamed into my head. Oh, leave me alone. I grumbled. Hinata-chan. My head snapped up as I heard Naruto talk. As leaning across the table looking very worried. Why yes. Sorry, I zoned out for a minute there. I blushed and looked at the table. I was thinking, can we do a skit maybe about the adventures of Orpheus? It would be pretty easy and I know the story well enough, nay Hinata-chan. Naruto grinned happily. I had to smile at this. Sure. I responded with a smile. We sat there discussing the details and the ideas and even started writing it as well when the bell rang. Disgruntled, Naruto and I left the class. I wish we could have gotten more done on it. Naruto complained. Then, his eyes sparked. How about you come over to my place and we'll finish some more? He offered. Really? I squeaked. I wasn't prepared for that. Sure, why not? Come home with me after school, okay? Naruto grinned happily. Okay. I bowed my head and blushed. SCU, and Naruto-kun. I waved goodbye as I headed towards my next class. After school, I was waiting at the entrance of the door shyly. The other girls had already left, not before demanding details when I got home. I had agreed just to get them off my back and now, I was waiting for Naruto. Hi Hinata-chan. I whipped my head around and saw him running down the campus towards me. I waved shyly towards him and met him halfway. Shall we go? Naruto offered me his arm. I blushed as I took it. Naruto and I are walking arm in arm. We boarded the bullet train to the mall where Naruto took the elevator up to the 10th floor. With a ding, the place opened to a rather simple messy but rather comfortable room. Make yourself at home. Naruto grinned as he picked up some loose ramen cups. I shyly sat down and started unloading my notebook from my bag when I stopped to admire the view. You could see the entire city from here. Wow, I love the view. Gorgeous, isn't it? Naruto came up behind me and leaned on the railing. He looked really calm staring out at the city. I want to be able to protect it in a way. That's why I want to be the president, just so I can protect my home. He grinned at me cheerfully. But anyways, let's get to our project, nay Hinata-chan. Hi, I smiled at him, let's. For another 3 hours we worked on our project until. Hinata, that would be Ino, Sakura and Tenten. I sighed as I responded. What? Get your butt home like now. Ino commanded. We want details. Alright, eep. I stretched tiredly. I had been writing and revising for hours now and so had Naruto. Naruto-kun, I should be going now. I smiled at him. He whined but got up slowly. Alright, I'll walk you down, he pouted. We went down the elevator in silence. Naruto was unnaturally subdued though, as if he was talking to someone. 3 guesses who? First 2 don't count. We walked out the lawn in front of the mall when I stopped, rather awkwardly. I'll see why you later. Okay. I ducked my head as I waited for his response. As soon as he leaves I'll teleport home so I have all the time in the world. Ow. A bolt of pain ran through me as I saw green. Then, darkness. Hinata-chan. That's Naruto, isn't it? I can hear him, but just barely. Hinata. The girls were calling me. I can feel them naiad. Get your butt up this instant and give Naruto a hand. He's being chased by another one of Envy's minions. Wearily I opened my eyes, just to be greeted by the sight of a huge neon green poodle looming over a struggling Naruto. No, why did Naruto have to be dragged into our business? Quickly, I dragged myself behind a tree and started chanting the transformation sequence. By the powers the immortals have given, by good intent I am driven. Amphitrite, Artemis, I, Naiad, beg of change. The familiar feeling washed over me again as I changed from shy, timid Hinata to Naiad, a warrior. Rushing out, I did the first thing I thought of. I see death. A million different crystals formulated around my palms and got fired off at the evil poodle. Ew. It's like, another, like, superhero, like, wannabe. The poodle whined in a high-pitched voice. Well, isn't this amusing? A little poodle acts like a little prep. Reminds me of someone I know. Bah humbug, I just need her to leave. I wouldn't call anyone a wannabe until you've looked in the mirror, you little, insignificant toy poodle, I responded coolly. I chanced a glance at Naruto. Good, he's knocked out. Ah, why, like, you, the poodle opened its mouth and breathed a huge cloud of toxins my way. I had to float up into the sky to get clear of those stupid things. Ew, for a poodle, her breath stinks. You know what? I glared at her. I'm done with you. Oh, and your breath stinks. I giggled as finished her off. Typhoon blast. A huge water tornado appeared and slammed the dog against the side of the building. My breath, like, so does not, like, stink, were the poodle's last words as it faded into nothingness. I rolled my eyes. Typical poodle. Hinata-chan. I whipped my head around to see Naruto sitting up, whipping his eyes blearily. Should I stop here? Maybe. Perhaps. Possibly. Conceivably. LCA hits me over the head with a pitchfork and growls, ow. Alright, I'll continue. Change to Naruto's point of view. I groaned as I woke up. Kyuubi was healing me as I awoke, so my senses were amplified. I smell saltwater and the wind of a lake and a lily. Is that Hinata? Hinata. I sat up and rubbed my eyes. My vision is starting to return to me. Aha. I can see again. Wait a sec. That's Naiad. Whoa. Look at the hole in the wall. Naiad. Did you do that? I rubbed my eyes again. That looks disturbingly like the shape of a poodle. That big green poodle had attacked you. Damn. That means Kakashi-sensei is going to make us hunt it down. Another mission. Yes, I did. The dog is gone. I saw her lips tightened. It's complicated, but let's just say, it's not something that you should be mixed up in. Here, she took off an amber stone on a black string and handed it to me. If you ever run into trouble, I'll be able to hear you, okay? Gee, thanks, but I don't really need this. I accepted the necklace and placed it around my neck. I felt this new feeling wash over me, like an empty part of me suddenly became filled. This is a good communication device. Kyuubi remarked as he, as well, savored the new feeling. You will, trust me. Let me tell you the whole story. Naiad had been quiet for a little while I thought, but nowhere voice just seemed to say, trust me. You might as well trust her. If it comes to worst, we'll fight, but I doubt I'll need to. Like I was telling you in the elevator, Squirt, this girl is strong but she's trustworthy. That's high praise for the king of foxes. I snorted. Let's go up to my apartment. I took her hand to get up. She hesitated for a moment and then grabbed my hand. Suddenly, I felt my body jerk off the ground and twist for a moment. The feeling lasted for a split second though. When I landed on the floor of my apartment. Where should I start? She asked smoothly, sitting cross-legged on the couch. How you did that would be a good place, I responded, agreeing with Kyuubi in my head. Well, you see, change point of view to Sakura. She's doing it, I murmured. Inner Sakura had deserted me momentarily to keep Hinata in line, or just spy on her. While we sat in the living room, we agreed that so long Naruto didn't get our identities and he was sworn to secrecy, he'd be fine. We'd only known him for a week, so there was a bind on him as well. She's taking a huge risk here. Tenten frowned as she sat on the couch, arms crossed. Naruto's already into this crud. Anyways, he needs to know most of the story at least so he doesn't blab to the press. Besides, Hinata trusts him. Ino snorted. I'm not saying it's not a good idea, I'm saying there are too many risks involved. Tenten retorted. Oxymoron alert. Ino stuck her tongue out childishly. Shut up. It's only partial anyways. Tenten snapped, irritated. Sure. Ino grinned. Why are you so worried anyways, Tenten? You know Hinata can do a mind wipe if she has to, I asked. The older sister figure of our group was getting really worried, too worried. She can wipe his memory but she can't wipe her own without major sacrifice. And if something bad happens? Tenten responded stubbornly. She's already too far head over heels with him anyways, making her vulnerable. It's just a puppy love. Ino waved it off. She's got to have one of those or I'll question her. Common sense. She scratched her head. Actually, she's pretty deep, even for a puppy love. I shook my head in disagreement. But I agree with Ino. Hinata's got to experience some sort of love, the sort we can't give her. Oh, cheer up. We sound like we're giving her away for marriage. Ino rebuked us cheerily. It feels like it. Tenten folded her arms. Chill, Tenten. Besides, don't you girls have some guys to help? I reminded them. In our eagerness to get to Hinata, I bet those two completely forgotten about Shikamaru and Neji. That lazy bum'll wait forever, Ino snorted, but I might. As well go since there's no sense in waiting around. She might be a while. Ino got up and breezed herself away. Neji is probably already smoking because I'm late. Better not delay it any longer. She is well left in a swirl of leaves. I sighed as I leaned back and regarded the ceiling through heavy eyelids. I hope Sasuke wouldn't be mad at me not coming. I know. I'll send him a message. Iris. I hope Hera's messenger has a moment. Yes, miss. Iris was a very sweet girl. I'm glad I can count on her and not Aphrodite's annoying little Cupid. Can you send this to a friend of mine? I can't leave because of inner Sakura. I magicked up a ball of fire that had some of the muses, lullabies to help that guy sleep. Be careful though, he's got a pretty good sixth sense. Sure, I'll be right back. She vanished out of my mind and a few minutes later came back, looking rather annoyed. He's not very trusting, is he? I got it to him though. She made a face. No, he's not, I laughed back. She ved as she pulled out of my mind and left a shimmering rainbow. I'm glad my Sasuke-kun is alright. The attack. Neji's point of view. I wonder what possessed our sensei to assign us such a mundane assignment. It has been 2 weeks and luckily, my partner and I had a project. We were writing a poem and apparently, she knew how to play the panpipes. It was better than being stuck with a fangirl, anyways. Tenten gets something done. Anyways, sensei has another task for me, so it's no big deal. I yawned discreetly. Class is so boring sometimes. Do you guys want to go to Hanagoromaro today? Kai was standing above our desk. Oh, looks like the bell rang. What's that? Tenten asked while she and I stood up. It's a Japanese coffee store and it specializes in Japanese candy. Kai smiled dreamily. Oh, sure, that sounds good. Let's go ask the others. Tenten and Kai walked down the hall towards the cafeteria, standing behind me and talking away like typical girls. Che, the only girl I knew that didn't do that was Gaia. And all we did was fight. Hey Tenten-chan, Ino screamed from across the cafeteria. Tenten waved as we made our way towards them. Hey Kai-chan, Neji-san. She greeted us too as well. Hello Ino-chan. I was just talking to Tenten here about going to Hanagoromaro, which is a Japanese candy store. Wanna come? Kai asked. I saw Gaara roll his eyes behind his girlfriend. Kai was calm until you mentioned candy. That'd where everything goes wrong. Sure. I love candy, Ino grinned. What about candy? Sakura popped up behind her, beeping on a Western confection. Ino-chan. Why you and Sakura-chan can't eat too much sea candy? Hinata protested. But Sakura made puppy dog eyes at Hinata. She's right, Saku-chan. Tenten scolded her playfully. Remember last time? I'd hate to think what happened last time, Sasuke muttered. I could hear him since he was standing right beside me. She burned off someone's head, Ino responded casually. What? How? Natsu and Kiba both exclaimed wide-eyed. Akamaru and Fuyu glanced at her wide-eyed. Let's just say she had some matches and leave it at that. The details are rather gruesome, Tenten laughed nervously. These girls are hiding something. Sugoi. I want to go but me and Sasuke have work, Naruto pouted. You two work? I thought you guys were rich. Sakura exclaimed incredulously. Our guardians forced us to, Sasuke said shortly. Digging into his bento, are you going to stand around all day and talk or eat? Slow pokes, Shikamaru yawned as he settled into sleep. He had eaten through the whole discussion and had drifted off into dreamland. So let me get this straight. As for Kai-chan, Natsu-chan, Kiba-kun, Gaara-san and Neji-san are coming for sure. What about you and Shino-kun? Ino asked Temari as she ticked the names off her fingers. Course we're going. I love candy. Temari grinned, and I'll make sure that Lazy Bum comes as well. She beeped her thumb at the sleeping genius. So that's everybody but Sasuke-san and Naruto-kun, Hinata summed it all up. That's right. We'll meet you in front of the school doors, okay? Kai started bouncing on the balls of her feet happily. Kai-chan, calm down. Gaara chided his girlfriend. But candy. Don't you love candy? I love. It's sweet and yummy and. No one bothered to pay any more attention as Kai started ranting. They just kept eating and doing their own things while Kai was bunching off the walls with just the thought of sugar. Oh boy, change point of view to Tenten. I can't believe Kai is that hyper when it comes to sugar. She was bouncing all over the walls all day. You'd think she'd calm down as the day passed, but no, she was literally vibrating all over the place. Kai, if you continue acting like a bouncy ball, we won't take you to Hanagormuro, Temari warned her. No, she shrieked as she threw herself onto an irate Gaara. Kai-chan, let's just go. Gaara started dragging his girlfriend along. I couldn't help smile at the sight. They were the perfect couple. What is this Hanagormuro like, anyways? Ino asked Temari. It's a little coffee shop that is actually pretty popular. It's styled after an old Japanese-styled house actually, so it's very comfortable. It also specializes in tea as well as candy, Temari explained. It's our favorite hangout place. I see, I nodded. This should be fun. It's better than searching all day and night for those stupid envy mobsters. Ino exclaimed telepathically. True. Too bad Naruto-kun couldn't come, Hinata whispered. You miss your lover boy. Don't you, Hina-chan? Ino teased her. I bet Sakura does too. Ino. Sakura shrieked, making us all wince a little. What's wrong? Hinata-chan, Ino-chan. Natsu asked. Nothing. Don't worry. I just pricked my finger. Hinata started beeping on her finger. I could feel her nick herself a little. I thought I saw a car run over that squirrel. Ino pointed to a small flash of fur. I see, Shino muttered. We all breathed a sigh of relief. Not so loud next time, Sakura. Ino scolded her. Gomen. Sakura apologized. I wonder where Sasuke-san and Naruto-kun work, Hinata thought out loud. Dunno. Shikamaru yawned. Those two have been awful secretive about it. They never told us, Neji supplied. I see. I tapped my finger on my chin understandingly, but I didn't understand. Why would they hide such information from their friends? Were he Kai sang as she stopped at some rice paper doors. Hurry up. Impatient. Natsu tutted. Hello. Welcome to Hanagormuro. A waitress met them at the door. How many are you? A room for 12 please. Temari counted the heads as she responded to the waitress. Right this way. She took us through a labyrinth of rice paper doors. One could very easily get lost in this maze. Reminder to self. Stick close to Temari, Ino muttered. I fervently agreed with her. Here you are. Service will be here in a few minutes. She opened a rice paper door to show an old-styled room with a square table and 3 seats to a side. Sugoi. Sakura exclaimed. Sit down. Temari grinned. Hello. I'll be your waiter. Hey. Everyone's head swung in the direction of the open door. For a few seconds they just gaped in shock and then started laughing hysterically. We had indirectly solved the mystery of where Naruto and Sasuke worked. Here. This would have been normal if they were dressed like guys. Naruto-kun looks like a drag queen. Hinata giggled. They looked like they were taken out of a history textbook. Only wrong gender. Sakura laughed. So true. Ino agreed. I just laughed. You see, Sasuke and Naruto were wearing a kimono, all done up in the traditional style. They were wearing wigs that had been designed so that they looked old-fashioned as well. The most hilarious part, however, was their makeup. They were wearing white masks and painted red lips, just like a geisha. That dress fits you perfectly, Naruto, Kiba howled with laughter. I have just lost the little respect I had for you, Sasuke. Shikamaru shook his head, laughing so hard he choked. Nice, Uchiha, Neji smirked. Gee, do you have a matching summer yukata? Natsu teased him. Smooth, Naruto-kun, especially in front Hinata, Ino giggled. Do you want to order or not? Sasuke grumbled. His mask of white makeup crumbled a little. The usual, please, plus a special for these girls, Temari ordered through her giggles. Grumbling incoherently, Sasuke left the room while Naruto stayed behind to entertain the guests. So, why are you in these rooms today? Naruto asked casually, trying to act cool, but miserably. Shouldn't you be in a smaller room? Use your brain, Naruto. We just had 4 more added to our company, Shikamaru yawned. He had got his laughing under control already, like Shino, Neji and Gaara. The others, however, were still snickering. Oh yeah, damn it, Naruto swore. Do you always dress L like this Naruto-kun? Hinata asked anxiously. Nah, only sometimes when somebody doesn't come. It just so happened that the 2 girls who didn't come today had this room. Convenient. Nay, Naruto grinned despite himself. Oh yeah, Natsu never got to finish her sentence when screaming and the sounds of building falling interrupted her. We'll be right back. Temari rose from her seat, glaring at everyone beside us. Ding ding ding. I was getting a lie-sensory right now. I wonder. They're not telling us everything, Ino murmured. And it's dangerous out there. What are they doing? Sakura fussed. I hate to break in the conversation, but we have a bigger problem on our hands. Envy. Hinata interjected. We all shared significant looks. All right, I nodded. As soon as we were sure they were gone, we started the ritual. By the powers the immortals have given. By good intent we are driven. Hera, Aphrodite, Amphitrite, Athena, Iris, Artemis, Demeter, Persephone, the elemental 4 beg of change. That calming, earthy feeling enveloped me, and for a few seconds, all I could feel was that delicate feeling. Sighing, I stood up and followed the other girls to the door. Down there, Naiad, Hinata whispered. We crept through the maze-like halls until we finally reached the entrance, where an extremely shocking sight met our eyes. I can't believe it, Halcyon, Ino exclaimed. It is unexpected, Phoenix, Sakura agreed. We should cut in, Naiad suggested. I think they're more than capable, I interjected. This was interesting. Outside, Kai had trapped several green dogs in a large purple dome while the others were fighting. Neji was using his Hyuga style. Sasuke was firing off fireballs at random. Shikamaru had a dog attached to his shadow. Gaara was fighting too with sand. Kiba and Natsu had teamed up and were using their pets as weapons against 3 dogs. Temari was using a Naginata with various wind attacks, and Naruto, he was just attacking wildly. Ah! Naruto screamed as the dog's tail hit him. You could tell by the bleeding he had been knocked out. Stupid Dobi, Sasuke muttered as he now had to contend with Naruto's dog as well. He put up a good fight, but he was overwhelmed and knocked out as well. I think we should step in now, Halcyon muttered tersely as the dogs made a beeline for Shikamaru. Agreed. Naiad, watch over Naruto and Sasuke and try to heal them. We're going to take down these bad puppies, Phoenix cracked her knuckles. We nodded and followed her instructions. Leaves of Hades, dance. I cried. The dead leaves swirling all around became little pellets and ricocheted themselves at 2 dogs. They howled in pain, but that was enough for Natsu to knock one of them out with a punch. Thanks. She smiled, but before I could reply, the other one thrashed around enough to hit her in the head, knocking her out. Natsu, Kiba hollered. Furiously, he smashed the dog in the head, killing it. He paid no attention to that though, but picked up his girlfriend and moved her to the side. Watch her, I mouthed as I faced another puppy. Roots of Hades, dance. This attack pierced the dog through the heart. Its mate howled at me and launched herself, teeth first. I pulled a fan out of my sash and knocked its teeth out, then killed it with a swipe of my katana. Done, Halcyon asked me. Should be, I frowned. Naiad, Phoenix suddenly shrieked. Horrified, we watched as the dog Natsu had knocked out suddenly revived and made a mad dash towards Naiad, who was healing Naruto and Sasuke. The body had been animated by a soul. Shade, return, I exclaimed. A bright misty fog, a soul, came out of the creature and into my hand. It stopped him from attacking Hinata, but he had managed to crush her under his body, making us all wince. Halcyon quickly lifted him off Hinata and killed him, but not before some major injuries had been done to Hinata. Damn it, Phoenix swore as she lifted Hinata up and teleported back home. Go with her, I told Ino, who nodded and teleported away. Who are you? Kai asked weakly. She had been exhausted, keeping up the barrier that long. Don't worry about it, just teleport the wounded home and make sure their guardians don't ask, I responded, very quickly until Neji interrupted me. Don't worry about the parents, Gaia, we've done this before. He hoisted Naruto over his shoulder, grunting with effort over his wounds, and teleport away. Shikamaru did the same with Sasuke, while Gaara grabbed Kiba after casting a worried glance at Temari, who supported both Kai and Natsu. As soon as Kai left, I realized I had to get out of here, so I turned myself invisible and flew away from the scene. Cars screeched to a stop, people's voices started to bubble in panic as two parked cars smashed together. That's the alibi for the dent in the wall, I noticed the considerable damage we had done during our fight. Yes, I could hear Demet. Er's voice drift by. No one was harmed, at least. I couldn't help but feel guilty for the owners. As guardians, we do so much for mankind, yet someone or something always gets hurt in the process. Change to Naruto's point of view. URG. I got up slowly, not willing to shake the sleep from my limbs. The bedside digital clock I had read 9 o'clock. Wait a second. What? I jumped out of bed, shocked. Where were the monsters? Where was the rest of the group? Are you all right, Naruto? I looked up to see Naiad sitting at the foot on the bed, worry clearly written in her green eyes. What happened to the dogs? I asked, bewildered. You were knocked out. I took you back here to get better, she reassured me tenderly. Are you feeling better? Yeah, I should be. Gods, was I feeling sleepy? Yawning, I turned around and faced the other direction. Good night, Naiad. Is that an evil laugh? Nah, I must be dreaming. Change back to Tenten's point of view. I crept into the room where Hinata was recovering. Sakura and Ino were sitting beside her, every once in a while sending a wave of magic over her to seal her many wounds. Is she going to be all right? I asked fearfully. She should be. Her crushed bones have started to heal and her body's working on healing her bruises. Sakura frowned. She's going to be magically dry by the end of the night though. Naruto. Hinata moaned, her eyes slitting open to reveal her white irises. She used too much magic trying to heal him. Ino shook her head. Poor girl. I watched a bead of sweat slide down my friend's face. She really loved him that much, The problem. Ino's point of view. It was another day at school and Hinata was still hurt. Stubbornly, she insisted she was fine and wanted to go to school, but we made Sakura stay to help her heal the last of her bruises, so they were still at home, and was probably going to be a touch late. She really cares about Naruto, Tenten reflected thoughtfully. I was standing by her while both of us caught up with our homework that we didn't manage to do last night because we were watching Hinata through the night. Didn't manage to finish your homework? Neji peered at what we were doing. All that excitement yesterday and Hinata got hurt by the explosion as well. Tenten lied easily as she figured out another sum. What explosion? I asked Tenten. Demeter caused a car accident where 2 cars exploded to cover up for the huge hole in the wall and the commotion, she replied absent-mindedly. Here, what looked like a completed homework packet with the answers Atli penned in with Neji's writing landed in front of them. Thank you Neji-kun, Tenten smiled at him. I swear I saw him blush, I teased my friend. Tenten just shot a glare at me. Ohio gozaimasu. Everyone looked up to see Naruto. And oddly, Sakura as well at his side. Humph. Sasuke was sitting right in front of us, with Sakura's empty desk beside him. Naruto grabbed the seat directly across the aisle from Sasuke and Sakura helped herself to Hinata's desk. I didn't know you were dating Sakura, Tenten remarked rather absently as Neji, Shikamaru, Kiba, Kai, Natsu, Temari and Gaara L looked at Naruto with varying degrees of shock. I am. She's my guardian angel, aka Naiad. Naruto dropped his voice dramatically so that only our group could hear. What? I gasped. No way. This girl is up to no good. It's true. Naruto leaned back, self-satisfied. That's interesting to know. Shikamaru went back to sleeping. I could tell he was rather disturbed. But she can't be. I blurted out. She. Stop it, Ino. Tenten hissed. Hinata wouldn't want her secret out. She what? There was a challenge in Sakura's eyes as she smirked at them. She's a greedy little turd. Naiad's much nicer. I finished. My anger clearly showing on my face. Don't say that, Ino. Naruto protested. His eyes went hard. I know you two have your grievances, but I'd prefer not to choose between my friends. I was about to reply that I'd rather not be friends with a liar, but Tenten stopped me. Sorry, Sakura-san. She offered a tentative hand to the smirking girl behind Naruto. Most of us just looked at her in astonishment. Let's be friends, for Naruto-kun's sake. Agreed, Dimaphone-san. She smiled in a saccharine way. Fine. I crossed my arms. By the way, Naruto, Hinata wanted to work on your project tonight. If you could call her. I want nothing to do with her. Naruto's voice went cold. That sentence made even Neji, Shikamaru and Sasuke stare at him dumbfounded. That was so out of character for warm Naruto. Anger flashed through me. He is such a gullible Bakairo. Shut up. I punched Naruto in the jaw. How dare he insult Hinata like that? Tenten's eyes flashed as well. And she chucked her pencil at Naruto's head, hitting him hard and square in the forehead. Ino. Tenten. Hinata gasped. She and Sakura had just arrived, apparently, and she was staring at us in horror. Dropping her books, she rushed to Naruto's side. Are you all right, Naruto-kun? Stay away from me. He pushed her backwards into a desk, causing all her newly healed wounds to reopen. Naruto. Sakura raged, grabbing a ruler from the wall. Homework forgotten. We rushed to Hinata's side. Are you all right? I asked, shifting her onto my shoulder. Hinata's mind was a huge mess of emotions, letting them out of hand. Normally, we can only sort of feel each other's emotions, but hers was so overwhelming that I could feel her pain and her heartbreak. Poor Hinata, Tenten murmured sympathetically. Leave him alone, Herodite. Sakura spat. She was pretending all along. Why you? Sakura lunged at her with the ruler. Killer intent was rolling off her in waves, and I'll bet all my magic that she was seeing red right now. Not so brave now, Naiad. Tenten spat out her words. She took Hinata's other arm, which was trickling with blood, and hoisted it over her shoulder to support her as started her to take her out to the nurse's office. Sakura-chan. Naruto exclaimed, shocked Sakura would do such a thing. Naruto baka, you have just insulted one of her closest friends and caused her a bleeding that reopened her wounds from last night because of us. I heard Temari snarled as I closed the door behind us. We met Sensei as we took Hinata down the hall, and she seemed to understand why we were out of class. Hinata had tears silently pouring down her face, and her school outfit was slightly soaked with blood. I'm going to kill that baka, I swear, Tenten snarled, unusually mad. Don't, Hinata thought as she passed out. She's still standing up for him. Sakura joined us, hurrying to catch up to us. Yep. Tenten and I grimaced as we entered the nurse's room. The nurse wasn't there, so we hurried into an empty cubicle. Laying Hinata down on a hospital bed, we began to work. This is not good. Hinata's dry and I can't do a scan properly because I'm as good as dry, Sakura murmured. Need help, huh? We all looked up to see Natsu, Kai and Temari peeking between the curtains. Wait. I trailed off as Kai's hands began to glow bright blue. She closed each of the bleeding wounds carefully with magic and turned the angry purple bruises a mottled yellow as well. As she leaned back, exhausted, Natsu shot a bolt of orange energy from her palm into Hinata's body. They don't have any evil or malicious intent, I observed. I think we can trust them. I believe you. No danger. Anyways, Sakura complied. You guys have the gift. Tenten voiced our thoughts. Yep, but don't tell anyone. Kai nodded affirmative. It's okay. We saw you last night, Sakura shrugged. Then you were. Temari raised an eyebrow. Halcyon, Gaia, Phoenix and Naiad at your service, I mock bowed. So Sakura isn't really Naiad. Natsu smacked her fist on her palm understandingly. She's a big fat liar. Yep, I think she's Envy, though, Sakura nodded sagely. What? I exclaimed. Not even. bothering to talk to her through telepathy. How else could she have fooled Naruto? It would have taken a huge amount of energy to fool the necklace, not to mention Naruto's senses, Tenten explained. She's envious definitely, but envy. Kai looked puzzled. We've hit gold. Our job is to track down the 7 sins and foreboding and destroy them so mankind doesn't go out of whack. Pandora did at least the foreboding and the 7 sins, but we kept the demons at bay since the beginning of time. Now, however, I have a feeling this may be the fight that decides the fate of mankind. Sakura explained. So you're that old? Natsu's eyes were huge. Reincarnated. Actually, I grinned. Ha, imagine me in wrinkles. Hinata rolled over on the bed. Hinata-chan, are you alright? Kai peered at her, worried. I think. I have a really big headache, Hinata murmured softly. That's understandable. Naruto pushed you into a desk, Kai reassured her, he's a baka. Why? Naruto-ku. Large tears started rolling down Hinata's face. We healed you. Natsu gently put a hand on Hinata's shoulder. Why you did? Hinata was more than a little surprised. Why you have the gift? Sakura backed them up. She knelt and took Hinata's hands. Hinata-chan, I think we've found envy. It's in Sakura. I scowled. It gets worse. She's got powers. Tenten shook her head. Avenue a feeling that she's a shapeshifter and that she shifted into Naiad then purposely changed back to her real form in the morning to convince him she was you. But why? Hinata asked, perplexed as she was sad. Envy doesn't like competition. Tamari shrugged, and neither did Sakura. I think we should take this to the higher-ups, I interjected significantly. Besides, it's been months since I've seen Iris or Artemis. Alright, I suppose we'll have to bring you guys along as well. Tenten glanced at the 3 other girls. It's settled. I joined hands with Kai and Natsu, who looked slightly hesitant. 1, 2, 3, Sakura counted down and we teleported, all at once. See, doing this is rather tricky because even though Sakura and Hinata are dry of magic, they can draw Fr. Omar magic but they have to execute the spell at the same time. But luckily, we can do it fairly well, since we've had years of practice, and we managed to bring all 7 of us to Mount Olympus. Halcyon, is that you? Iris had met us at the door. She is my all-time favorite goddess, even if she does seem younger than me and serves under Sakura at times. Hello Iris. It's been a while. I hugged my guardian. She was the rainbow goddess and she always seemed so warm and welcoming. And you brought the others too. Smiling, she hugged Sakura, Hinata and Tenten as well. Oh, who are your new friends? Sabukano Tamari. And she is Kaijuana Nekoni and she is Natsuko Nekoni. Tamari introduced them formally, squinting a little. I suppose all mortals have to squint while they're looking at a goddess. It's nice to meet you. Iris bowed graciously. Here, drink this. It will help you see us better. Thank you. Each girl took a small sip of diluted ambrosia and shook. It feels like I've just become punch drunk. Natsu shook a little. It always feels like that at first. Sakura laughed a little. Now let's go. I want to see the rest of the gods. Laughing, we all went into the Parthenon. Phoenix. Zeus at the head of the table on his large throne thing stood up, shocked. Sakura grinned happily and hugged him. Hello Zeus. Hera got up as well. Hello Hera. It's been a while. Dear child. Yes it has. Hera smiled gracefully. I can see why these 2 are called the rulers of the gods. Hey. I want some time with my favorite guardian. A very flamboyant and gorgeous goddess sauntered over. She hugged Sakura grandly. It's been a while. Hi to you too, Aphrodite. Sakura laughed as she squeezed her back. Naiad. Let me go get Amphitrite. Poseidon. The sea god stood up as well as Athena swept over gracefully. It's good see you. Athena hugged her guardian. Are you alright? Yes, thank you. Hinata smiled. Oh Naiad, my little baby. A crooning mother figure rushed into the hall, enveloping Hinata and Athena in a big hug. Both huggies were turning slightly blue in the tight embrace until Poseidon stepped in. Amphitrite, you're choking them. Poseidon pointed out to his wife. Oh, sorry, she laughed. Gaia, it's nice to see you again. A tall woman wearing a green toga walked over to Tenten and embraced her. I hope you weren't hurt by the accident. No, But I wish Apollo would look at Naiad's ribs, she frowned. Where's Persephone and Hades? They'll be here in a few minutes. I believe Zeus sent Hermes for them already. Sure enough. The two underground rulers walked in. Hades, Persephone. Tenten hugged both of them. I'll always wonder how Gaia manages to defrost Hades and Persephone. I spun around, to see Artemis standing behind me. Hi Artie. I glomped her. It always irritates Artemis when I call her that. Because I haven't seen you in a while. I won't set my dogs on you, she half smiled mischievously. Glad to hear it. I laughed. Besides, you know they wouldn't hurt me. I really don't know where everyone gets the thought that Artemis is an almighty stern woman. She's such a prankster inside. Hey, it's my favorite guardian. Apollo wandered over and hugged me. Hi Apollo. It's been a while. I beeped him on the cheek. Did you miss me? Of course. Sis right here was being a downright grouch and none of the nymphs wanted to hang out with me. Apollo made a face. He was always so childish. I laughed. Can you take a look at Naiad's ribs? She got them bruised a while ago and she's dry. Don't worry. Amphitrite and Athena will make sure she's got plenty of magic by the end of your visit, Apollo reassured me as Tamari caught his attention. I take your word for it. I shrugged. That's Sabukano Tamari. She's cute. I sighed as he drifted over to the three, who were looking kind of lost. Oh boy. I shook my head. Apollo was such a playboy sometimes, I swear. So, why are you here? Artemis asked, turning back to me. Right. Well, get the gods together because I think we might have found a sin, I informed her. No way. Artemis. Eyes grew huge. Dad. Call a meeting. She yelled to Zeus. All right. Zeus banged a lightning bolt on the table with a mighty crash. That sure got everyone's attention. I winced a little. Zeus. You've knocked out my friends. Sakura exclaimed. Sure enough. Tamari, Kai and Natsu had keeled over. I guess divine thunder is a little too much for their ears, even with the hint of ambrosia. Sorry, he apologized as Hera glared at him. Take a seat. Take a seat. Accordingly, some mini thrones were pushed forward for us and some seats for the others. Hephaestus, the forge god, came out of his forge, wiping his hands. I heard the clang. What's up? Aphrodite's husband was still a little ashy, but she beeped him anyways. The girls are here, honey. Aphrodite led him to the seat. I rolled my eyes, as did everybody else at the table. Tamari, Kai and Natsu however had just awoken and were staring at them in shock. But, you two are, Natsu stuttered. Typical mortals, Ares snorted, that was a joke from years ago. Zeus thought it would be funny to say Aphrodite hated Hephaestus and was cheating on him. Made me rather unpopular for a while. Millennia, Ares, Sakura corrected him. Whatever, millennia, year, no difference to us. Ares snorted again. You see why he likes horses so much. I muttered to Tamari, who was sitting right next to me. Shut up Halcyon, Ares snarled. Make me. I stuck my tongue out at him. Stop it, you two, Zeus scolded both of us. Anyways, why did you bring us up here? Persephone asked, very composed like always. Sakura took a big breath and then said, we've found envy. You're so melodramatic. I rolled my eyes. All at once, the gods started chattering, throwing questions and whatnot at us. They were all looking rather concerned. Even flighty Aphrodite was questioning Sakura. Silence. Tenten roared, rubbing her temples. We'll explain everything. Start from the beginning. Gaia, Hades commanded. He slumped back in his chair, Persephone's hand resting over his. Well, currently, we're in Japan, sniffing out another lead. Whoever gave you that clue was right. Japan is a huge magical energy center but not where you'd expect. Believe it or not, envy currently resides in a schoolgirl, Tenten explained. Interesting, Persephone murmured. She's in our class, too, I added, and she's very persuasive, since she managed to convince Naiad's crush of a lifetime to hate her for some obscure reason. Halcyon. Hinata blushed, turning 15 different shades of red. What, you like someone? Oh, my little baby's grown up. Amphitrite grabbed her in one of her killer hugs again. Honey, Poseidon tapped his wife's shoulder, making her release a choking Hinata. Thank you, she gasped, still 15 shades of red. She's kinda on the outs with him. I added. Halcyon. Tenten and Sakura exclaimed. What? I asked them, exasperated. I could see Natsu, Kai and Tamari were asking the same thing. I looked around, only to find everybody had ducked under the table. Where is? Then, I saw her. Who is this boy? Amphitrite roared. Eek, she looks like Medusa with her energy lifting her hair up like it does too. Those super evil villains in manga and anime. He's a guy in our class, okay. Besides, Amphitrite, we need to decide on a proper plan of attack, I said soothingly. Instead of flaring up at me all over again, she sat down and began to think hard. Honey, are you okay? Poseidon asked, peeking from under the table. Oh yes, I am very alright. There was an odd gleam in Amphitrite's eyes that was gone as soon as she leaned over and pecked each of the girls on the cheek. You girls just run along now, I can take care of this situation. It was nice meeting you girls, by the way. Well, I'm going to make you girls some new weapons, so I'm off to the forge. Hephaestus got up and hugged Sakura. One by one, the whole pantheon got up to leave as the guardians were hugged by their respective gods. See y'all later. I hugged Artemis. Bye. Artemis gave me a squeeze. Don't worry, I doubt Amphitrite will go too overboard, Iris whispered in my ear as she squeezed me. I hope so, for Naiad's sake. I whispered back and released her, joining the others in a circle as we prepared to transport ourselves back to Japan. My last thought. Oh boy, to be continued, and thank you for watching.